Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Sorry, we had an internet connectivity issue yesterday, but oh man, do we got a lot to talk about this morning. Yes, it's showtime. About 35 seconds. Here we go.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now, here's...
Alrighty. Yes. Welcome back, everyone. It's 5 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Those of you that watch us on YouTube, we are back live on YouTube this morning. Brian Craig on YouTube, so make sure to check us out there. Oh man, do we have a lot to talk about today. I tell you, this Biden administration, this is the worst. You thought Obama was bad. You really thought Obama was bad. Obama was nothing compared to what is going on here. There was just yesterday was an insane day, and of course, because they are Democrats, free pass on everything. Now, last week, Biden said that MAGA and the Confederacy, worse than Confederates, who owned slaves and led a nationwide insurrection against the federal government. My goodness. And then yesterday, Joe Biden said something that the media, of course, accepted as okay. And it's being described as a walk-back statement from the Facebook comments. And I'm going to start right here at the top with this. And this is very, very frightening. I don't hype things up unnecessarily. A lot of people do that. I do not do that. When something is chilling to me, when something is alarming to me, I get very concerned. I share it with you. I talk about it. So just to give you the timeline, last week at the White House press briefing, Jen Psaki, who threw the first pitch at the Nationals game over the weekend. By the way, did McEnany ever throw the first pitch at a baseball game? I don't think so. McEnany's husband is a professional baseball player. I don't remember her throwing out the first pitch. But anyway, McEnany at the press conference last week talked about how the White House was flagging Facebook posts. Remember that? We're like, oh, was that a slip? Did she screw that up? And no, she meant to say it. And then over the weekend, Biden got out of the helicopter at the White House and said this.
And they're killing people.
Okay, so Facebook is killing people, he said last week, and that's caused a lot of people are upset. So yesterday, Biden had a press conference. He was asked by the lady reporter who replaced Jim Acosta as the White House CNN reporter. I don't know her name. I don't want to know her name, but she's just the lady that replaced Acosta. And this is being described as Biden walking back his comments. I think he went even further than I've heard anyone in his position ever go in the history of this country. And it's much worse than what he previously said. So this is what they're describing as walking back. The lady voice you hear, that's the CNN Acosta replacement. Listen.
You said last week that companies and platforms like Facebook are killing people by letting us...
Let me give you precisely what I said. I'm glad you asked me that question. One, I had just read that on the Facebook pointed out that it was pointed out that Facebook, of all the misinformation, 60% of the misinformation came from 12 individuals. That's what the article said. So I was asked that question about what do I think is happening. Facebook isn't killing people. These 12 people are out there giving misinformation. Anyone listening to it is getting hurt by it. It's killing people. It's bad information. My hope is that Facebook, instead of taking it personally that somehow I'm saying Facebook is killing people, that they would do something about the misinformation, the outrageous misinformation about the vaccine. That's what I meant.
Have they done enough, in your opinion, to stop?
I haven't, to be completely honest with you, I don't know if they did anything today.
When someone says being completely honest with you, they're lying. But anyway, I'm not sure what article he's referencing. If you all know, please direct me to that article because I want to find out who these 12 people are. So Joe Biden, now they're calling this walking back. Joe Biden described, what he said is he has an enemies list of 12 people. He has an enemies list of 12 people. It's not Facebook. He's not going after the company. He's going after 12 people. Who are these 12 people? Does anyone know? If you know who these 12 are, please call it. If you know even who some of them are on Joe Biden's enemies list, please call and let me know. The number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's K-A-N-E and the number 1-888-465-2631. Who are these 12 people on Biden's enemies list? And, you know, it's amazing to me that Joe Biden comes out and announces that he has an enemies list, and the media is like, oh, okay, he's not going after a company. He's just going after 12 irresponsible people. I watched some of the 5 yesterday, and the one lady, I don't know her name, the one lady, she's older than the rest. She's on Fox Business. She's kind of got a deep, well, you know what I'm talking about? I don't know her name. She made a very good point about this. This was no walk back to her. She says if you go to all the dictatorships of the world, they all censor news and information, and they always tell you they're doing it for your own good. And for Biden to come out and say that he has a list of 12 people that he has labeled, well, he's labeled them enemies of the people, enemies of the country, because he's telling us that these 12 people are killing people and getting others to get up, he's killing people. Who are the 12? Please let me know. I'm very curious. And would you consider this to be an enemies list? I would. And why stop at 12? What's going to be next? This is frightening stuff, people. This is not something to take lightly. It's not like, oh, Joe. No. They're doing these things. They are targeting people. They are targeting individuals. And, you know, we were talking on the show yesterday, this White House has done nothing right. Nothing right. Everything they do is a PR disaster. You know, the Democrats set up this stunt of bringing these Democrats from Texas that are on the lam from Governor Greg Abbott and I guess the Texas Rangers. I don't know who does the arresting. They brought them up there, and now 5 of them have COVID. There's a lot of mystery surrounding Kamala Harris because she had this doctor's appointment at, she went to see the doctor at Walter Reed Sunday afternoon, which I find highly unusual. And they say that she was tested for COVID, but everything's fine. And Jen Psaki in the press conference said yesterday that this trip to Walter Reed Hospital was scheduled long ago. Anytime someone in government says that anything they are doing was scheduled weeks and months before, assume that they're lying. Okay, that's just how I take it. And I watched the beginning of the White House press briefing yesterday with Jen Psaki because I wanted to hear her respond to this Kamala Harris doctor's visit. And Steve Doocy, or is it Peter Doocy? Peter Doocy, who's usually the one that goes after Jen Psaki, to me yesterday sounded as if he had been coached and compromised. That the questions he asked were fed to him, and he did not do follow-up. And I'll just tell you, I'm not going to play the audio of the exchange. I'll just describe it to you. And those of you that saw it, I think you would agree with me he asked her why was Kamala Harris at the Walter Reed appointment on Sunday. Jen Psaki said it was scheduled long ago. He asked if she has been tested for COVID. Jen Psaki said yes. And then Ducey asked her if has she altered her schedule so far as being with the president, were his words, and she said no, she has not altered her schedule, and then moved on to the next thing. Well, her schedule may show her not being with Biden for 2 weeks, for all I know. And for Jen Psaki to say that this appointment was scheduled weeks ago, as she said, no one from the White House press briefing asked to see some proof of this? This has to be documented. There must be documents. If this was planned weeks ago, Vice President can't move on a dime like that, especially on the weekend when they have to call people in on their day off. Which doctor or doctors did she see? And how come no one in the press has gone to Walter Reed to find out if this appointment was long ago or try to speak to the doctors? Nothing. Just let's take, after the government, after the White House has been telling us for about a week now that they're censoring social media, we're just to take them at their word and not ask for documents or even ask follow-up questions. Pretty scary thing. And they blew this whole thing with these Texas Democrats. Because what the White House is telling us is she was exposed. Of course, we know she was exposed because she met with these Democrats, although they don't admit that she was exposed. But she was exposed because she met with the Texas Democrats, 5 of which so far have tested positive for COVID. Kamala Harris is vaccinated, so they say. So if she doesn't have COVID and she's been exposed, that's a good thing for the messaging. Look, well, yeah, there's no worries here. She's been vaccinated. She didn't get it, even though she came in contact. They don't want to do that. Or if she did get it, which a lot of people think she did have it, and she's not symptomatic, that's also a positive story for their agenda of getting more people vaccinated. And they're being very dodgy. And what's frightening about this is the White House first instinct is to lie and misinform and spin, as opposed to just telling the truth about what really happened. Their first instinct, without even thinking, is immediately a misinformation campaign, even when the information would not harm their agenda. It would actually help what their main agenda is now, which is to get more people vaccinated. Okay? And that's how I took that yesterday. I mean, why their first instinct is to lie, to misinform, to spin? Well, probably because they're Democrats, would be my guess. But these are some frightening times, people. Very frightening times. Oh yeah. Now, I don't know if you can tell, I sound great today. I feel great. Sound great. You know, I am one of the reasons I'm feeling so great. I am broadcasting in my MyPillow My slippers. Yeah, I've got the moccasin ones that are fur on the inside. They're so comfortable. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll show you. Yeah, I mean, these are just spectacular. These MyPillow My slippers, they are so comfortable. And, you know, calling them a slipper really does a disservice because they're good for all day wear no matter where you go. And they're pretty brand new at MyPillow.com, an incredible product. And, of course, with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, receive 40% off the MyPillow slippers. They come in many different styles for both men and women, and they are comfortable. I feel like I'm standing here on my pillows with my pillows wrapped around my feet. This is the most comfortable. Oh, my goodness. They are so comfortable, these MyPillow My slippers. I love them. And, you know, if you go to MyPillow.com, there's something for everyone there. And the prices are all-time lows on many of the products for a limited time. So it's a great opportunity for you to go to MyPillow.com and take advantage of all the great deals there. Make sure you use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. That's right. Okay, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, Brian Craig here. I have the MyPillow slippers.
slippers at Mike Lindell? He's right. These are the most comfortable slippers I've ever worn. And you can get them for 40% off at MyPillow.com with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. One of our listeners called in on the air and told us about his experience with the MyPillow My Slippers.
Brian, I have the MyPillow slippers, and I have neuropathy. These are fantastic slippers.
Really? Which ones do you have? Which style do you have?
The fur-lined one.
Oh, the slip-on fur-lined ones?
Yeah, inside, outside.
What is neuropathy and what are the symptoms?
Well, the nerves in your feet start going bad, and it affects your balance, and it's painful.
So you're wearing the MyPillow My Slippers, which, by the way, 40% off with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and it's helped with your neuropathy.
Good morning, everyone.
Yes, it is. It's much. I have to wear slippers at home. I can't go barefoot or even with socks on.
Wow.
So I have to wear that. And I also have the MyPillow pillow and the MyPillow mattress topper and the...
That mattress topper is unbelievable, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
My wife loves it.
Oh, man. I know, they're all great. Yeah, I know. And by the way, when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, 40% off the MyPillow slippers, 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows with it. So it's great. Well, that's awesome. Order your MyPillow My Slippers 40% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. The Steve Kane 2022 MAGA Cruise is a go. Leaving January 21st on the Celebrity Equinox out of Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale. Join Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig, for 9 nights cruising the Caribbean. We will stop in Grand Cayman Island, Bonaire, Curacao, and Aruba. Reserve your cabin right now and call Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All righty, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show. Yeah, so Biden has his enemies list. There's 12 people on it. He says he's got an article with the list of the 12 names. If anyone knows what article he is referencing, please let me know. I want to go through that article and find out who the 12 on his enemies list are. Now, you've heard me talk time to time about how some of our MAGA friends, you know, there's a lot of us on the Trump train. We have varying taste and interest, of course, because the Trump train is a diverse train. But a lot of our MAGA brothers and sisters get very upset with me at drinking Starbucks coffee. And I talk about why I do this all the time because it's the only place that's open at the hour that I come into work to be on the radio live each morning that has such a high caffeine content. Venti Hot Blonde Americano has 4 shots of espresso in it. Sometimes I even get an extra shot, the 5th shot, and that's why I really don't enjoy the taste too much. I do it for the caffeine, which I'm addicted to and need to broadcast on the radio. But people get very upset with me about that, you know, these judgy people trying to cancel me out because of my coffee. And oftentimes they tell me, well, drink Black Rifle coffee. Oh man, I've heard that so many times. Black Rifle coffee. The coffee of MAGA, right? That's what I thought too, but listen to this. The postmillennial.com, which is an incredible conservative news website, has an article that blew my mind. I came across this morning. The postmillennial.com, you can go check it out for yourself. And this is being reported in other sources, I'm sure. Black Rifle coffee goes woke. Throws customers under the bus in a bizarre New York Times interview. Listen to this. Black Rifle coffee. The one the conservatives are always promoting. Black Rifle Coffee gave an interview last week with the New York Times in which it seems they decided to attack their own customers in a bizarre attempt to distance themselves from their conservative brand image. According to the New York Times interview, Black Rifle Coffee has done well by building their brand as the counterculture coffee of right-wingers all across the country. In 2015, Black Rifle's coffee company revenue was $1 million. By 2019, that figure had grown to $82 million. Last year, Black Rifle Coffee listen to this. Last year, Black Rifle Coffee did $163 million in sales. All this was done with ads like the two quotes posted below. Here's the first one. Instead of worrying about microaggressions in which bathroom I'm going to use, I believe it's important to support the people that actually serve our country. Yeah, I've seen that promotion for Black Rifle Coffee. Here's another. I've heard people say patriotism is racism. Well, as a veteran-owned company, we give 0 S's, you can figure out what that word is, about your opinion. Now, in the New York Times interview, the founder of Black Rifle Coffee said this: I'm a man without a party now. What I figured out the last couple of years is that being really political in the sense of backing an individual politician, that's got to be President Trump, or any individual party is really effing detrimental. And it's detrimental to the company, and it's detrimental to my mission. You cannot let this is the owner of this is the founder of Black Rifle Coffee talking. These are quotes. You can't let sections of your customers hijack your brand and say, this is who you are. I hate racist, proud, boyish people. I'll pay them to leave my customer base. I would gladly chop all of those people out of my effing customer database and pay them to get the F out. There's strong speculation among many that these types of statements may erode Black Rifle's hard-won customer base's loyalty. Oh my, is this shocking? This was pretty shocking to me. People being made of what the New York Times interview have been quick to voice their discontent on social media. Will Chamberlain on Twitter said, in addition to being a bunch of virtue-singling, disloyal jerks, Black Rifle Coffee makes really crappy coffee. I've never had Black Rifle Coffee. I cannot speak as to the taste. It's not like Black Rifle, and by the way, this article is in thepostmillennial.com. It's a very good conservative website. I believe it's out of Canada. They have a lot of Canada-centric stuff, but it's very good. They cover American stuff too. It's not like Black Rifle doesn't have a lot of up-and-coming competition. Right-wing Brew, in its own turn, is hoping to capitalize on what they see as a huge blunder on the part of Black Rifle. Yes. Oh my gosh. Carl Higbee, a Navy SEAL, author and host of a show on Newsmax, plans on aggressively getting people to switch over for his brand of coffee, Right-Wing Brew, which has no problem continuing to support its conservative base. Oh my goodness, yeah. So Black Rifle Coffee does not want conservatives, does not want MAGA drinking their coffee. Well, I'm going to try Right-Wing Coffee. I'll check out Right-Wing Coffee. But again, my major concern about coffee is not politics, but the caffeine content that I can get in the morning with it. But I'll check out Right-Wing Coffee. Oh my goodness. Are any of you surprised by that? So many people say, Brian, you got to drink Black Rifle Coffee. Well, I guess not. They're all woke now. Oh my goodness. All right, 1-888-GO, Kane, 1-888-465-2631. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning, Brian.
Yes, what's your name?
This is Bernard in Georgia.
Hey, Bird, what's up?
Hey, about these recent, 1 in 5 of the recent cases.
Yeah.
You heard that?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, what do you make of that? So what's your point?
Okay. Well, I'm just saying that.
I'm in Florida, so what's your point?
Yeah, federal government seems to think that it's Florida's fault, but I mean.
Well, you know, I'll tell you. What was your first name again, Georgia?
Bernard.
Bird, like in the sky?
No, Bernard.
Vernard. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, that's okay. It sounds like a good old boy name, Vernard. You know, they want to portray Florida as being the super spreader state. I agree. Okay, because they hate Ron DeSantis, but it's Southern California that's bringing back the mask mandates and is having a huge increase. So this media narrative that vaccine hesitancy is a conservative thing. Now, again, I believe that's a lie, because if you look at where the real hesitancy is, the Democrats of Southern California, Los Angeles is not MAGA country, okay? So you have a huge chunk of liberals out there where this spread is occurring. Also, in major cities that are predominantly African American or have large African American communities like Chicago, a lot of black people have, because of the brainwashing of the Tuskegee experiment misinformation that people have been getting for 100 years in this country, they've been afraid to get it. So the vaccine hesitancy has been among African Americans who are liberal, and obviously the Los Angeles area out in Southern California. They can blame Florida all day and all night, but we're not the one bringing back mandates on mask wearing.
Right. And I just think that it's propaganda, and just they're even saying that hospitalizations in Tampa have tripled in the last week. New cases have tripled.
Well, if you note, a lot of the Steve Kane has an old saying that is a very good saying. Figures don't lie, but liars can figure. Right? Makes sense to you? Figures don't lie, but liars can figure. And if you note, that's a very good saying. And I haven't heard anyone say that, but Steve, I don't know if he originated it or not, but it's a pretty good one. If you notice at the coverage, you're not hearing actual numbers, you're hearing percentages, okay? Like, do you know what country in the world has the fastest growing Jewish population? What would you guess?
Israel?
No, not Israel. The fastest growing Jewish population in the world is occurring in Germany. Because Germany started with 0. Many years ago, they killed all their Jews. So there's a rate increase. It doesn't mean there's more Jews in Germany than Israel or Florida or America. But they percentage-wise, they have the fastest increase because they started at 0. So if today you have 1 and tomorrow you have 2, you have a 100% increase. Okay? And if you notice, the mainstream fake news media are now using percentages, not so much numbers, because percentages are a way to manipulate the perception of what's going on.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I know. That's how these dishonest liberals are. You know, they're always looking for some spin for their agenda. But they're trying to pay. See, I'm going to tell you something here that a lot of people are going to get pissed off about. A lot of MAGA people that act like they haven't been vaccinated have. I know this for a fact because I know many people, many of them are listeners to this program, that claim that they'll never get the vaccine, and I know they have been vaccinated, okay? I'm not going to blow anyone's cover and embarrass anybody and tell everybody people's private medical information. The conservative MAGA crowd, there's a lot of older people in that crowd, in particular in Florida, and older people are tending to get vaccinated more often because the older you are, the higher risk you are. So the vaccine hesitancy is among liberals. That's what we're seeing in Southern California. And also migrants, illegals that are coming into the country, and also blacks that are liberal in liberal cities that are paranoid because of the Tuskegee experiment narrative that they've been brainwashed with their whole life. So the vaccine hesitancy is not among, and I'll tell you, these Democrats that flew from Texas to Washington, 5 of them have COVID. They say they're all vaccinated. I'm thinking that they're not. I'm thinking that those 5 Texas Democrats, at least 3 of them, but maybe all of them, were not vaccinated, I'm guessing. And they lied. They lied to get on the flight. They lied to get in, to meet with the Congress people. They lied to meet Kamala. That's why they got it.
Democrats do that.
Oh, lie? Yeah. They'll lie before they tell the truth just because they're liars. They lie for no good. It's pathological. They lie for no reason. But anyway, you're a new caller. Welcome. Are you new to the show?
No, I've called in a few times.
Oh, I'm sorry. My memory, I'm getting up there. I'm getting older.
6 years old.
Oh, you're older than me. Yeah. Yeah, but I appreciate. Well, hey, listen, you're a good caller, so don't be a stranger. You brought up some good stuff, and I appreciate it. Okay. You too. Take care. All right, we're going to take our break. It is 34 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who had tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line.
Good morning, everyone. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And everybody else, like the
It
video.
was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now at Coral Springs. They get great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have
Well,
peace
thank you,
of mind
Robert.
and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009.
Wesley, $5 super chat.
You heard about them on the radio.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Brian. Speaking of misinformation, Biden should go after the media for using percentages to mislead us on corona. Absolutely.
Estate planning workshop. Make sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. Learn how to prevent running out of money before you run out of life. Learn how to avoid being forced to spend down your assets. Learn how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets. This free workshop with attorney Barry Siegel is Tuesday, July 20th at 10 a.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray. Seating is limited, so reserve your seat for this free estate planning workshop. Call now, 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 855-352-3782. 855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, and you may have noticed the date in that spot. Attorney Barry Siegel's free workshop is this morning at 10:30. And I don't know if they're going to be in the office beforehand or not to call to make a reservation. So at this point, we very well may hear from Attorney Barry Siegel later in the show. But at this point, it looks like just show up kind of time, okay? Because this is an incredible opportunity with Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group Free Estate Planning Workshop. It's today at 10 a.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. And it's a free event, and those who attend the event, you get your free consultation with Attorney Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group, but you're also going to get a $500 certificate entitling you to $500 off your legal fees for your estate planning if you attend this workshop today. So again, it's at 10:30 this morning, South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All right. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
It's Richie. Good morning.
Hey, Richie.
Yesterday our phone call was very short, I understand.
Well, then let's not relive it.
No, but I want to bring this up to you. I mean, talking boycotts with the coffee, okay? And you know you and I have knocked back and forth with Disney World and all this other, and you don't believe in boycotts.
No, I don't.
But you know who was boycotted over the weekend, which shocked me? Because I got a notice from President Trump was boycotted. You know where he was boycotted? The golf tournament in the English Open.
I saw that. Yeah, they don't want to use his golf resort in Scotland. I saw. He said, I guess I'm too controversial, he said.
Yeah, all the corporate companies backed off, and they don't want to use his name is mud to them. Now, this is what I'm talking about, boycott. If corporates are boycotting the head of our movement, how could you, in good conscience, and I know you already bought the annual pass, and I'm hoping that you don't do it again. But to a company that
You're not going to stop me from going to Disney World. My wife and I are going up in October. I'm taking 2 days for our 25th anniversary. We're going to Disney World. I'm going to take 2 days off work, which I rarely do. And I'm sorry, Richie. I'm not going to only go to places that Richie thinks I should go to because you don't like them. I mean, you know.
What I say to you is, and once we go back and forth with this, you don't think that's hypocritical?
No, I don't. No, I don't boycott anything. I've never been a part of a boycott. I don't boycott anything. And what and I go through this with you so many times, and I use this what?
You promote President Trump, and you are his best.
Well, I don't say that people are required to use his golf resort. I'm gonna give you. I'll give you the same example I've given you before, but I think it's a good one. And this is I have never been a part of boycotts, and this started when I was in 10th grade in high school here in Fort Lauderdale. Is when the Exxon Valdez business happened, where that drunken tanker captain ran aground the Exxon Valdez in Alaska, and they had the oil spill, and there were boycotts going on of Exxon stations, and a bunch of kids in my school were going to boycott Exxon gas stations, even though they didn't even have cars, right? And my very wise teacher, he said, who was, I can't remember his name, but he was one of the football coaches too. He said, when you boycott Exxon, you're not hurting Exxon. You're hurting the local owner that owns that local Exxon station, and the guy that works there is going to get his hours cut back because they're going to not be open all night. You're not hurting Exxon, you're hurting the local guy. So, when you talk about Florida and you talk about Disney World, I've talked to you about this so many times, Richie, but Richie's got to get his own way, and he likes to revisit conversations from months ago, but you brought it up. I'll talk about it before I move into the new stuff again. But the people that work at Disney World are Floridians. They were out of work, many of them, for over a year. They've just started hiring back more and more people every day. They're doing more and more hiring because more and more tourists are coming. And they're in the Orlando area where the theme parks are. I watch the local Orlando news from time to time on YouTube, and I saw something that broke my heart that we should never see in America. I saw food lines that were miles long in Orlando for all of the people that work in the tourism industry. So I'm not going to, a boycott, I'm not going to hurt these people while you sit on your fat ass with your fat pension in a big old house and talking about how you're going to boycott while there's people out there that are living hand to mouth, Richie.
Understand that. Now the point, and I'll drop this after this, your biggest cheer is for President Trump. You walk around with statues, or you walk around with teddy bears, you walk around with t-shirts.
Yeah, I got the Trumpy bear. I've got the Trumpy bear and everything else, yeah.
All of this, and you talk about Mike Lindell, who's got shafted by all these companies, but you support all these companies.
I don't support all of them. I do not support all of them, no. One place that one place that lost my business was Macy's. I was my family. We were big customers at Macy's. In particular, my daughter, because they have great prices on dresses. And I would take anytime my daughter had a fancy thing, I would take her to Macy's. I haven't taken her to Macy's since they stopped carrying the Trump ties. But I don't. I give you another example. When long ago, when I was a kid, I was in the Young Democrats when I first started working with Steve. And I was in the Young Democrats for about 5 minutes. And the Young Democrats were organizing a bizarre protest. It didn't happen, but they tried to organize it, and I wouldn't have taken part in it. Florida Orange Juice hired Rush Limbaugh as a spokesperson. So they organized this thing where they were all going to go and get jugs of Florida orange juice, go to Fort Lauderdale Beach, and pour it in the ocean while the newspaper and TV stations came and watched them pour it in the ocean. And I thought, what a stupid thing to do. And I was like 19 or 20 at the time, and I thought, what a stupid thing to do, and I'm just not into boycotts. But all right, take care, Richie. My goodness. He has no sympathy for the struggles of people that work in the Florida tourism industry, living hand to mouth. He doesn't understand that. Unbelievable. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Yeah, my wife and I were going there for our 25th wedding anniversary in October. I'm taking 2 days off work. 25th anniversary is a big one. We went there for our honeymoon 25 years ago, and we're returning 25 years later, which I can't believe. It's a weird thing because when we went to Walt Disney World for our wedding, for our honeymoon, it was the 25th anniversary of Walt Disney World opening, and when we go there for our 25th anniversary, coincidentally, it's the day one to the day of the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World, so we're getting old. Oh, man. All right, listen, we will take our last break of the first hour. If you're new here, we're live from 6 until 9 a.m. Monday through Friday, broadcasting live on the radio on AM 1470. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Little belch there. I apologize for that. We broadcast live on the radio on AM 1470, 95.3 FM, and 96.9 on the FM radio dial. Not only are we live Monday through Friday from 6 until 9 a.m., we have an overnight rebroadcast 7 nights a week, midnight till 6 a.m. on those same radio stations. You can also listen to us on the iHeart Radio app, searching for us by our station call letters WWNN. That's 2 W's and 2 N's. All right, I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Indeed it is. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great MyPillow products are. But don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the MyPillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio to tell us about his experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling to get testimonial about my pillow topper.
You ordered the MyPillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress because my old mattress was getting old. So my wife's like, why don't you try that pillow, that mattress top? So I went on, I used your promo code Kane. I got great.
I don't go to Disneyland, I go to Disney World. Disneyland's in California, Disney World's in Florida.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the MyPillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while you'd flip it over. Now you can't flip mattresses anymore. They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't buying mattresses enough. So the mattress companies stopped making two-sided mattresses, and mattresses are expensive. I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that MyPillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saved you from buying a new mattress and turn your whole bed into a MyPillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. You guys out there, remember, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. Now, when you use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper and receive 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big MyPillow mattress. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences, up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the
And these MyPillow slippers are so comfortable.
at little or no cost.
See, they say My Slipper on the bottom.
A pair of therapeutic shoes made
And then the
especially
inside,
for diabetics.
it's just like so
You're
soft.
probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to 1 pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes.
Animal abusers? I don't go to zoos. I do not go to zoos.
Provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin.
Although I did go to SeaWorld recently with my friends, but
is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Sole Authority at 954-597-7060
all right, coming back.
or online at thesoleauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, we are back, and we're back streaming on YouTube this morning. By the way, Brian Craig on YouTube. We were not on YouTube yesterday because we had internet issues here. Welcome back, everyone. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Okay, now, the Democrats, they got their first conviction from the Capitol breach. Yeah, did you see this? Yeah, their first felony sentence. And it's a Floridian. Listen to this. A Florida man who breached the United States Senate chamber carrying a Trump 2020 campaign flag was sentenced on Monday. Now think about this. Now I'm going to tell you what the sentence was, and maybe you've seen this in the news. I did talk about this in my podcast last night. You might have heard me talk about it. But now this is the first felony conviction of someone who breached the Capitol, who took part in the insurrection, as they call it in the mainstream media. How much time do you get? How much time do you think someone gets who's part of a breach and insurrection? Listen to this. I'll finish the sentence by starting the sentence over. A Florida man who breached the United States Senate chamber carrying a Trump 2020 campaign flag was sentenced to on Monday to not 30 years, not 20 years, not 15 or 10 years, but to 8 months in prison. 8 months. Really? That's what you get for being part of an insurrection now? 8 months? Making him the first among hundreds of accused rioters facing prosecution to be incarcerated. Now, I don't know if he's been locked up for a while and has already got some time served on that, but he might have been in jail for 4 to 6 months and be pretty far through his sentence already. Now, again, I learned this from Newsmax a couple weeks back of the around 500 people that have been arrested for the Capitol incident. Not one person has been charged with insurrection. There hasn't been one insurrection charge. Now, it doesn't say what he was convicted of in this article. I read this article yesterday. Let me skim through it and see if they've updated. I read this article last night on my podcast, and they did not say what he was convicted of, but it's a felony conviction. Prosecutors were asking for 18 months, but it does not. I'm not seeing here what the conviction is for. You know, reporters today, they're not very good. You know, they leave out the most important facts because everything's politically driven. If it's way down there somewhere, I don't see it. But 8 months for taking part of an insurrection? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's a pretty light sentence for being part of an insurrection and all, which is a form of treason. Ooh, I'll tell you. You know, at 9 o'clock today, Jeff Bezos, 9 o'clock Eastern, 9 a.m. Eastern, Jeff Bezos is launching into space. And I want to thank Mr. Bezos for scheduling his launch for after the Steve Kane Show signs off the air at 9 a.m. I appreciate that. I'll be watching it online. I guess I'll catch it on my iPhone or iPad or something when I sign off today. And I'm a big supporter of the space program, you know, space program, NASA, Cape Kennedy, right here in the great state of Florida and all that. I recently went up to Cape Kennedy and it just blew my mind. But these two space flights that these egomaniacs are on, that are in some penis-size comparison space race, really a penis race. So Branson went up, 50 miles? Bezos is going up around 60 to 62 miles. And I'm a big supporter of the space program. I always have been. I think it's cool. I think America dominating space is a good thing, and we've got a lot of technology from it, right? We do. We do. There's also some negative things that have come out of the space program, like, cable news have come out of it because we got the satellites. So last week, Branson went up 50 miles. Today, Branson's going to go up some 60 to 62 miles, and they're celebrating. Woohoo! The first American in space was Alan Shepard, right? Which was what year did Alan Shepard go up? Was it 61? Let me check. Alan Shepard's flight. Let me get the date right, because Alan Shepard's a cool guy. Well, he's no longer with us, but his flight was in 61, right? Alan Shepard went up in 1961. He was the first American in space. He went up about 101 miles. So, these guys, he went up, he was also an Apollo astronaut, but he was the first American in space in 61. He went up, my recollection is 101 miles. I can look it up, but I think 101 stands out in my mind. So these rich guys in this penis-sizing space race they're in, who's got the biggest one, Bezos or Branson, they're going up about half the distance that Alan Shepard went up freaking 60 years ago. So I don't know what they're celebrating. And Branson, by the way, is not an astronaut. He didn't go up high enough. They can call themselves astronauts all day, Sir Astronaut and all this stuff. To he was still within the atmosphere. To be considered an astronaut, you have to go above. I've heard NASA astronauts say this recently. Above, you have to go 60 miles or above to technically be considered an astronaut. But Alan Shepard did this 60 years ago, people, and he went further. And if you have not been to Kennedy Space Center ever here in Florida, or have not been in many years, you've got to go back. I went up there a couple of months ago. I have not been there in years, and they have revamped that place. And if you go to my YouTube channel, I made a YouTube video of it. It blew my mind what they have up there, including the Space Shuttle Atlantis, which is you can almost touch it. And it's been so long since I was there. The last time I went there was 25 years ago or so. And I saw the Atlantis that time too, but it was on the pad ready to launch on that visit. And this time it's hanging from the ceiling, and it's just what they've done at Kennedy Space Center is absolutely amazing. But I can't get excited about Bezos and Branson. Ego trips. And these although Branson's not one of the tech billionaire class, people in this world, we got so many issues with these tech billionaires. Bezos kind of gets lumped into that because of Amazon, and but it's hard to really get jazzed up over an ego trip, isn't it? Is anyone excited about it? Now, SpaceX, that gets me excited. Because SpaceX, they're doing amazing things, and restarted the American manned space program and everything else. And that I have not seen Bezos in his spacesuit he's going to launch in today, but that spacesuit that Branson was wearing last week, what the hell was that? You would not have gotten me to wear that suit. I wouldn't go up on these things either. It's very dangerous, and it's just an ego trip. Bezos is going up with his brother. I'm surprised he didn't take his Latina girlfriend. She's a helicopter pilot. I don't know if she flies planes too. I bet she's pissed that she's not going. All right, now listen, we're coming up on the top of the hour break. After the top of the hour, I'm going to jump into some new things. We got a lot to get into today, and I've only just scratched the surface. I'm still looking. If anyone has the article, Joe Biden has read an article that has 12 people that are on his enemies list. I'll recap that in the next hour because it's a very important story. But if you know the article that Joe Biden is referencing, I would appreciate it, because it has a list of 12 people on it that he says are killing people. So he said there's an article that was printed up that somebody wrote, and it's his enemies list. So I want to find out who these people are. Good morning. You're on the radio. Yes, you're on the radio. What's your name?
George, Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, George.
You're not an astronaut unless you're weightless out there. This Branson guy was not in orbit.
No, he's no astronaut.
No, not even close. And neither, I don't think, is Bezos, because to tolerate weightlessness takes enormous strength.
I saw some NASA astronauts I watched online when Branson went up, and they said you gotta go 60 miles or above to technically be considered an astronaut. But Alan Shepard in 61 went up 100 miles, maybe 101, and
yeah, he's in orbit. He was weightless.
He didn't orbit. He was weightless, and this Branson's weightlessness was just because the airplane was making turns that simulated weightlessness. He wasn't truly weightless. It was because they were doing turns. Yeah, I don't know if Bezos will have weightlessness naturally at 60 miles or not, but it's no big deal. It's an ego trip.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
And it's very dangerous. And I'll tell you, the space tourism thing they're doing is a very bad idea. Someone's going to have a stroke or a heart attack because, if you're driving around and you see a Porsche or a Lamborghini, it's usually an older guy driving it because they can afford it at that time of their life. Most of the people that take these space flights are going to be older people, and because those are the billionaire types, they can afford it. People are going to die on this space tourism stuff. And I have met many astronauts over the years, and they've all told me that the most intense part of any space flight is the launch. And these launches, even though they're low, are very intense. A rocket launch, and I've
Yeah, the number of G's is very high, and most people can't take it.
People will die doing this, and they're gonna be some rich old guy, maybe even someone that's kind of like a corporate celebrity type, and then it'll stop. It's just there's an old saying, they have what's called FU money. They have so much money, they can just do whatever they want. They could burn it all day if they wanted. So it's it's cigar money for these. But it's hard to get excited over it. I get excited when SpaceX goes off. That excites me, but not this. All right, take care. And Bezos, I don't have any opinions on Branson, but I'll tell you about Bezos. My goodness, all the bookstores are gone now. There's a Barnes and Noble down the street. It's basically they try to sell toys. Nobody buys books. And I went to Barnes and Noble with my wife a couple weeks ago, and what? Do you guys do this when you go to the bookstore? I just look the book up online and buy it online. I never buy it in the bookstore. Bezos has put more businesses out of business. Oh my goodness! What about all the used booksellers? What about all the retailers? And over the last year of COVID, Bezos, with Amazon Prime delivery and everything, how many retailers of every industry you can imagine, storefront retailers, have gone out of business because of Bezos? Not just bookstores, especially over the last year and a half. So he's not a hero. He is he's a job killer, a business killer, and obviously an egomaniac. All right, we'll take our break for the top of the hour. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977. It's Tuesday morning. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
It's here, the hot weather. It's in the mid-90s in the middle of the day, and that's what the actual temperature is. The heat index, much higher than that. That means your air conditioner is going to work harder and harder, driving up your electric bill. Really. And on the line,
line, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, who's going to save you big, big money on your electric bill. Tell them how you're going to do it, Scott.
Hey, Brian. Well, we do it with the radiant barrier installation and making sure that none of your air conditioning ducts are leaking into your attic. But I have Rebecca on the line with me, who's a longtime Steve Kane listener, and we had the pleasure of going up and doing a whole attic package for her at her house on Wednesday of this week, and we put all new ducts in for radiant barrier and all new insulation, and she just wants to tell you how her experience was.
Good morning. I wanted to let you know that this morning, first of all, the people that came out, his crew were very, very polite, and they did the work. It's a very difficult job to go up in an attic, pull out all the old ducts, come in and put in all new ducts, extra additional ducts to make my system work better. I'm in the construction industry. I'm an architect, so I'm familiar with what the cost should be and how much time it takes to do everything. And let me tell you, I was very impressed, and my attic looks like a spaceship up there with all new ducts. They took out the metal duct that was insulated and leaking on my ceiling, and they put in flex stuff, which is what we use now in the industry. But let me tell you, what I paid for the entire package should have cost just to remove the old ductwork and install new ductwork, and I got everything for less than what I thought.
Well, that's amazing. And when Scott from Cut My Kilowatts brings that radiant barrier into your attic, it pays for itself, because what it does, it cools off your ceiling, cools off your attic, keeps that hot Florida heat that's well over 100 degrees in your attic off of your air conditioning ducts, which means your air conditioner works less to keep your house cool and comfortable for you, which means you have lower electrical bills. It works. Listen, guys, give Scott at Cut My Kilowatts a call. His number's listed at Steve Kane. Good morning, everyone. Hey, Philip.
This is his website if you miss it. His number, which rings directly to him, 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. That's Scott from Cut My Kilowatts.
Attention seniors. Have you protected you and your family from financial ruin? You are invited to attend attorney Barry Siegel's free estate planning workshop. Make sure
Steve Kane Show.
You are properly protected even if you already have a
yep.
trust. Learn how to avoid
Hold on.
inheritance to predators like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. Learn how to prevent running out of money before you run out of life. Learn how to avoid being forced to spend down your assets. Learn how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets. This free workshop with attorney Barry Siegel is Tuesday, July 20th at 10 a.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray. Seating is limited, so reserve your seat for this free estate planning workshop. Call now, 1-855-FL-ESTATE. That's 855-352-3782. 855-352-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1.
All right, hour number 2 has begun. It's 6 minutes after 7 o'clock in the morning. I am Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Welcome and good morning again to all of you. And, and again, Attorney Barry Siegel's free estate planning workshop is this morning, 10:30 a.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray. And again, those of you who attend this free event, this free workshop, you get your free consultation with the Siegel Law Group, and after that free consultation, they're going to give you a certificate for $500 off your legal services for your estate planning with the Siegel Law Group and attorney Barry Siegel if you attend this free workshop today. So I don't know if they're going to be in the office this morning or not prior to the workshop, because a lot goes into such a thing, but it's completely free, and at this point I think we're in just show up time. So again, it's the South County Civic Center in Delray this morning at 10 a.m., just 2 hours and 52 minutes from now. All right, let's go back to our phones. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Good. Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Jerry from St. Pete.
Jerry in St. Pete. What's up, Jerry?
Hey, listen, I've been watching the space program since the Gemini program, and I know for a fact that if you're not above 64 miles, you're in subspace.
Oh, yeah. You know, even Alan Shepard at 100, he was 101 miles. That was considered, that was not an orbit. You know, in the second one, Grissom was not in orbit, and it was considered even, and I used to follow this stuff a lot more closely and read it and study it, and then, you know, Obama grounded the American manned space program and didn't hear about it till Trump brought it back with SpaceX, but even Alan Shepard in 1961 at 100 miles up was considered suborbital at the time.
Right. Well, like I said, I've been watching the space program since probably for 67 years. I'm over here in St. Pete.
Have you been to Kennedy Space Center in the last year or two?
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, I work for Sperry Corporation and a few other corporations.
Well, what they have done to that, what they've done at Kennedy Space Center is it's like going to the Air and Space Museum at the Smithsonian in D.C. It will blow your mind, the different spacecraft and shuttles that they have up that are within arm reach. Smithsonian in D.C. It will blow your mind, the different spacecraft and shuttles that they have up that are within arm reach. And died in Apollo 1. I mean, it just blew my mind away. Kennedy Space Center, because years ago there was really nothing there, but they were doing, you know,
the rocket sitting in the field. Remember that?
Yeah, but now it is. I would consider it equal to the Air and Space Museum at the Smithsonian, if not superior.
You know, Disney World hooked up a tour from Disney World. You go over to the space.
Yeah, but the things they have on display will blow people's minds that haven't seen it. Yeah. I mean, especially when you see how small these things are. You know, the Geminis are 2-seaters, and they have these Geminis, and I can't believe how small those are. And they have, they also have on display. 2 pieces. They have a piece of the wing with the American flag from the Challenger that's on display there, which, you know, and they have all that's left is the frame because the windows are broken, but they have the front cockpit windows from the Columbia that disintegrated on re-entry that are on display. I made it, if you go to my YouTube channel, I thought I made an incredible, if I say so myself, and I do believe, I think I made an incredible video vlog of my trip to Kennedy Space Center a few weeks back, and I think Brian Craig on YouTube, you look it up, I think you guys will be blown away. I make a lot of YouTube videos. That's one of my best.
See, is the Saturn V still laying on its?
Oh my God, of course it is. Yeah, but listen, I gotta run. If I start talking about this stuff, Steve will kill me. He'll shoot me up on a rocket to never return. One-way trip. Listen to this. Now, on Saturday, some of you may know, I mentioned it yesterday, on Saturday evening, I went to the Cuban Liberation demonstration in downtown Miami at Freedom Tower. They call it SOS Cuba. And, I mean, just thousands upon thousands of people showing up. And now I was talking last week about Floridians who are going to travel to Cuba in their own personal boats, taking relief supplies to the Cubans. Well, listen to this. The Department of Homeland Security reminded Floridians ahead of a flotilla scheduled to travel near Cuba Thursday. Yeah. That's this Thursday, by the way. That's this coming Thursday. They're planning this flotilla to Cuba. The Department of Homeland Security reminded Floridians ahead of a flotilla scheduled to travel to Cuba on Thursday that it was illegal to travel to Cuba without permission from the federal government. And they released this statement, Homeland Security. It is illegal for boaters to depart with the intent to travel to Cuba for any purpose without a permit. Penalties include $25,000 per day fines and up to 10 years in prison. If at least 100 boaters show up, they're going to sail together and do a flotilla, to go down there. They're trying to put together 100 to do it. They're threatening 10 years in prison. Yeah? What about all these people that jump our border, go south, and organize these caravans from Central America all the way up to the U.S. southern border? How many U.S. citizens travel to Mexico and travel to Central America and organize these things? If you watch these caravans of illegals from the southern border, they have food, water, supplies, bathroom facilities along the way. Who's providing that? That's right. Democrats in the United States are providing it. No one's threatening them with fines. No one's threatening them with jail. And you've got people that are really being oppressed off the coast of Florida, and they're going to put you in prison for 10 years if you help those people? Oh, they vote Republican, so we can't help them. Could they be more obvious, the Democrats, as to what they're doing? All right, let's take some more calls. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Good morning, Brian.
Hey, Andrea, what's up?
Well, just two things. First of all, about Branson and Bezos going up into space.
Mm-hmm.
Where are Greta Thunberg? Right? Where are all these hyper climate people? Isn't that increasing?
Well, Brian Stelter on CNN was very upset with Branson and was concerned about the carbon footprint of the launch. Now, keep in mind, CNN is only broadcasting because of rocket launches putting satellites in orbit. That's okay.
Right. Correct. But that's okay. This carbon footprint is okay.
Yes.
So it's just once again the Democrats saying, "Oh well, you're an elitist, so you're."
Yeah, and I'll tell you another thing here. My wife, everybody knows my wife's disabled. She can't get out and about and do shopping like a lot of you guys do. So Amazon is a savior for my wife. It allows my wife to do things that she would rather do instead of have me do, right? Shopping and stuff like this. But Bezos, I have no respect for Bezos as much as I use Amazon, okay? He's put, I don't know how many retailers out of work, how many retail jobs have been lost worldwide in every industry you can imagine. And on top of that, the way that they treat their workers. The Amazon Prime drivers, I hear terrible stories about the clock that they're on when they stop at each stop to drop off packages, and we hear about terrible conditions where people aren't even allowed a break to pee that work in the facilities, around at the Amazon facilities. I mean, Bezos is not a good guy.
Equate them to treating his employees like slaves, but that's okay because he's an elitist. So that type of slavery is totally cool.
They gave an Oscar to that movie No Man Land with I forgot, the woman from Fargo's in it, where she lives in her van and they spend half the movie showing her going number 2 in a bucket in the van. I don't know if you've seen the movie No Man Land. They gave her an Oscar. In that movie that was celebrated by Hollywood last year, she only works a couple months a year at the local Amazon plant during the Christmas season. And then when the Christmas season is over, they lay everybody off. Branson is not a good person. He's done a lot of bad things. I don't, he doesn't see it that way, but he's hurt a lot of people and destroyed a lot of businesses. So many retail businesses and jobs have been lost because of him that you couldn't even measure it. You couldn't even put a number to it.
Well, that's why I purposely don't use the Amazon. I shop and buy local because even though I live in a very liberal town, I support my local people who work. Local, I buy.
Well, they're going to celebrate him today in the media, Bezos, and he is these are the people on the left that are going to celebrate him. that think that he is this big guy, this great guy, the labor abuses alone that he's committed.
But that, you know, Brian, if the left didn't have hypocrisy, they wouldn't have anything.
Yeah.
I purposely don't use Amazon because I believe what you believe. He's destroyed the lives of many, many people.
Oh yeah, you know, and I'll tell you, I told my wife last week, no more DoorDash. You know, DoorDash became very popular during the pandemic, and one of the DoorDash guys, did you see this video of what he did with the cops' food?
No, don't.
Yeah. And this guy, he got arrested because he was so stupid. He did something to the cops' food he was delivering, and then put it on social media or something. And I told my wife, no more DoorDash. You know, they see that Trump sticker on the back of the car, or a Trump flag, or my Trump something. There's no way I cannot do it. Cannot eat there through the DoorDash. It's not safe.
I did want to touch on you and the video that you put out on Saturday.
Oh, at the Free Cuba demonstration in Miami, yeah.
Exactly, and that's real journalism. So thank you for doing that.
Well, I appreciate it. You know, a lot of everybody's opinionated on YouTube, right? You know, and I get all these negative opinions of people telling me what I should have done. What I should have done. I should have interviewed people. I should have done this. I should have done that. When I make vlogs, that's what you call these YouTube videos, called vlogs. It's not a show where you go and interview people. It's for you as a viewer to be able to experience it as if you were there. That's what I try to do in these vlogs. I think it's pretty good. I've become kind of like a documentarian of sorts. If you watch my videos that I make going around town, you know, yeah, you know, so you know, yeah.
So here's my suggestion to them. You do it. Get up off your...
That's right. Get up and do it yourself, and then you can do everything perfectly, as opposed to me, who does everything flawed. Yeah.
I think what the Biden administration is doing right now is absolutely, once again, disgusting and disgraceful. And this is my hope. My hope is the Republicans take back the Senate and Congress in 2022. But
well, you know, there's a story today. I can't remember who said. I read it this morning, really early. I'll pull up the story, but it's being reported today that Trump was having dinner recently and told 3 people at the dinner he is definitely running in 2024.
Well, that's fantastic. But
it certainly is.
To Cuba, because what Biden and these psychopaths, because that's what they are, what they're doing is a blemish on American history.
Well, if Trump was in the White House right now, the communists would be out of power by the end of August with what's going on right now.
If Trump was in the White House, that whole thing would have been squashed a week and a half ago.
But if you look at what's going on here, you look at what's going on with Biden, they're doing a clampdown on Americans like Cuba is doing in Cuba on their people. Listen, Andre, I got a break, but I appreciate the call. Always a good call. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Steve will be joining us a little bit later this morning. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with your calls, and I got some more stuff to bring up, too, right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Homeowners, HOAs, and business owners, it's hurricane season. Storms are coming, and when they do, you need to be prepared. If your roof is old or compromised, call Tom Laporta for a free evaluation. And when a storm comes with high winds and hail, or if projectiles hit your building, call Tom Laporta first before you call anyone else, so Tom can evaluate your damage and give you the information and tools you need when you call your insurance company, so you can get the best results. Tom Laporta has the experience to help guide you through terrible times like these. So again, before you call anyone anyone else when damage strikes, call Tom Laporta. This number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Online, LaportaContracting.com.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, 24 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Only one opening on the board at 1-888-GO, Kane, 1, K-A-N-E, and the number 1-888-465-2631. So I'm going to go right to the phones before I bring up anything new and hear what you all have to say. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? Once. I can. What's on your mind? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the Panhandle of Florida. I get you through YouTube.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. You know, I've lived in Florida since 1982, and I've never been to the Panhandle. Can you believe it?
Well, I watch you a lot up here, and a lot because I agree with a lot of things that you guys talk about.
Yeah. I can. You got to turn the volume down of what you're listening to me on because there's a delay, and that's what's throwing you off. Yeah. Okay. As long as I don't hear myself in the background, you're cool. So what's on your mind?
Well, I was listening to you about the Biden situation on the insurrection stuff. I served in the military 22 years in 2 branches of service and fought 2 wars for this country. And they don't know what an insurrection is until if they continue on down the path that they're going.
Well, what 2 wars did you fight in? Oh, okay. Well, they are very well aware of what an insurrection is because the Biden administration, which is the Justice Department, have not charged anyone that they've arrested with insurrection. And they've got their first felony conviction came out yesterday. The guy got 8 months. And he's probably at least halfway through that sentence while he's been dealing with this. So no one's been charged with insurrection. They got their first felony conviction from the breach, and the guy got 8 months. Which he's done maybe 6 months of it already as much. And, you get out after 80% of your time on federal charges. This guy could be out in a week. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Yes, Doug.
Oh, I was watching all these illegals crossing our border, and I noticed something. Many of them have Nike sneakers on, so they're not as poor as we think, I guess. They're not coming here. They're coming here to get welfare or whatever it is. How can they afford Nike unless they're knockoff Nikes? But
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're donated shoes, used shoes. I don't know.
like you said, somebody is.
What would you be? Would it make you more comfortable if they were barefoot or in sandals?
Well, that would be what you think.
I don't know. Some of these sandals I see at the mall are pricey too, so I don't know. What are you looking at everyone's feet for? You got a foot fetish?
No, I just noticed it.
Oh, okay. Because you're looking at illegal immigrants' feet. I thought maybe that was kind of like your kink.
No, but and I think somebody is supporting these people coming here, like you said. They're giving buses. What happened to the military?
Well, listen, these caravans are obviously organized by Democrat activists in this country. They go down there and give them all kinds of relief, okay? And listen, it is hot and humid in Florida. We may not have the desert heat that they have out there, but it's hot and humid in Florida. And, I was walking the dog the other day, and I got to the end of my development, and the dog and I were both, that's it, the heat and humidity. We came back home to get some water. And these people that are in these caravans, they're not able to. There's a whole supply chain that the Democrats provide along the entire route to the U.S. southern border. But if you're going to help the Cubans, 10 years in prison, they're saying. Why don't they just say it? We hate Cubans because they're Republicans, and screw their relatives in Cuba. Okay, because they're Republicans. Screw them all. Now they're not. Well, at least they're being honest. All right, Doug, take care. We've only got one opening on the board where Foot Fetish Doug was at. Good morning, you're on the radio. Yes, you're on the radio.
Okay, this is RJ from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, RJ.
Why isn't that more widespread known? Why isn't that all the who's supporting them and who's doing this?
Why is what not more known?
The supply chain to the immigrants traveling across the.
Well, I mean, I can tell. I can see it. How far can people walk? That Mexico is a very long country. How far can people walk without having food supplies and bathroom facilities and things along the way? So it's obvious because the media are liberal, and they don't want to talk about the things that I'm telling you right now.
Okay, I would think some independent investigative reporter could infiltrate something and find something. I agree with you.
Well, I mean, if I had the resources, I would, but I'm just a guy with a mic in Florida.
Somebody has resources for it. The other thing is, what do you think will happen? I mean, realistically, until the Cuban people are armed.
Okay, all right, it's enough of that. Good morning, you're on the radio. Sometimes I keep a caller on just a beat too long. Good morning, you're on the radio. Bill in Sanford. Yes, Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman country.
Look what the government did to Kathy Lee Gifford.
Gifford? Kathy Lee Gifford? Who's that?
Yeah.
You mean Gifford? What did the government do to Kathy Lee Gifford? What'd they do to her?
Well, they put her clothing line out of business because they had this. They're being made in Central America under bad working conditions.
Vaguely familiar, but the government put Kathy Lee's clothes out of business? I don't know.
The Labor Association.
Oh, okay. I was not aware. A lot of people get very upset at the labor conditions and child labor. When I was a child, I was laboring. How old were you when you had your first job? Hello? How old were you? That's the response I get when I ask a Democrat about their job.
I was 14.
14, yeah, and I was like 15. Well, younger than that. I was mowing lawns for a couple dollars. But when I was a child, I don't want to sound like Hannity. I'm not going to go through my resume. But when I was a kid, I labored. You labored. Most of my friends were dying to be able to get some child labor jobs somewhere. I don't know why they think it's so bad. The kids have to work in these other countries. I mean, I was working when I had a car in high school for gas money or money to go buy candy with or go to the arcade with. They're working to feed themselves. I don't know why people think child labor is such a bad thing. I couldn't wait till I could be a child laborer,
Well, yeah, but look what's happening in China. Look what the goods are we bringing in from China.
Yeah. All right. Hey, listen, appreciate the call. Let me take one more call, then we'll break. Good morning. I can, from the UK. What's on your mind?
What we've got going on in Georgia is
All right. Well, oh my goodness. All right, listen, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. Oh my goodness. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane will be joining us after the bottom of the hour break. And I've got a piece of audio from Joe Biden I'm gonna share. I started the show with it at 6, but I want to play it again with Steve, and because I'm trying to get some information on this, and you and the listening audience, we're going to enlist you for some help on it. All right, our number toll free 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. This is Brian Craig. I'm in studio with Debbie from I Will Advisors. She has an incredible new service to tell you about called I Will Advocates. Debbie, what is I Will Advocates and how are you helping seniors?
Well, Brian, over the past few years of owning a Medicare insurance agency, we've learned that there's a huge need for Medicare advocacy, that a lot of people don't have a child or a spouse that can assist them with their medical needs, and that's where we step in.
There's a lot of things that seniors need help with. Prescriptions, doctor's appointments, things like this. How do you help them with that?
If you're having a problem at the doctor's office, having problems scheduling an appointment in a timely manner, we can step in. If you're having issues at the pharmacy, having problems refilling a prescription, or feel that you're being mischarged for something, you can contact us and we will step in. Even if you're at the hospital and you feel like you're being neglected, we'll be there for you at a touch of a button, whether it's to call the nurse's station or assist in any other way.
So if someone's in the hospital, they feel they're not getting the care that they need, they haven't seen their doctor, they haven't seen their nurse, they can actually call you and you'll contact the hospital for them?
Absolutely. We act as your family. We'll step up, we'll call the nurse's station and ask for some assistance. If we can't get anything done there, we'll go to the higher levels.
Now, this is a service that you're offering. Now, they do not have to be an existing client of I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for any Medicare client. We can assist in any way. We don't need to be your insurance agent. We're just here to help you with your medical needs.
This is an incredible opportunity for those of you who are Medicare recipients. Debbie at I Will Advocates will help you with your prescriptions.
Steve Kane Show.
Doctor's appointments for them, including the primary care physician and specialist, right?
Of course. We'll assist in anything helping you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by your doctor.
You believe Hitler was a time traveler?
Even help you if
Really?
you're in the hospital.
Did he go back into the future or something at the end? From the bunker? What do you...
to senior citizens.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does this cost?
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have this.
He's a little low.
You have an experienced, compassionate advocate, just a touch of a button away.
To learn more, call Debbie's office. The number 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
Attention seniors, have you protected you and your family from financial ruin? You are invited to attend attorney Barry Siegel's free estate planning workshop. Make sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. Learn how to prevent running out of money before you run out of life. Learn how to avoid being forced to spend down your assets. Learn how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets. His free workshop with attorney Barry Siegel is Tuesday, July 20th at 10 a.m. at the South County Civic Center in Denver.
Well, thank you, Dennis Daly. I appreciate that.
Reserve your seat for this free estate planning workshop. Call now 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. That's
Yeah, you notice the date on that promo for Attorney Barry Siegel's free estate planning workshop. It is this morning at 10 a.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. We very well may hear from Attorney Barry Siegel in the 8 o'clock hour. I'm not sure if we will or not. I don't know if his office will be open for reservations this morning to call or not. We'll find out later. But at this point, we are just at the show up because there's a great benefit. Okay, it's a free workshop. You get to ask questions for free. You get to attend of Attorney Barry Siegel and his staff, and he gives you incredible information. I've sat in on maybe about 10 or 12 of Barry's estate planning workshops. I've learned something new each and every time. They're absolutely amazing. But those that attend, there's a special benefit. You get your free consultation with the Siegel Law Group, and Barry's office are going to give you a certificate which will give you $500 off your legal fees for your estate planning if you move forward, which of course, why wouldn't you, right? So it's a good opportunity to attend. Again, this morning, 10 a.m., South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All right, Steve, you with us?
I am with you.
There we go. Perfection. We did a mic test during the break. Perfection. Perfect. All right, well, lots has happened. Lots going on. Lots happening. Oh, my goodness.
It's out of control. It's crazy.
Well, Biden did something yesterday that was it was an amazing thing. I've never seen anyone at his level publicly come out and admit such a thing, and the media are acting as if he said something that was good. They say he walked it back. Now, Biden said on Friday, he said Facebook is killing people, justifying their censorship on social media. And he was, I'm going to play this audio. The media is saying he walked it back, but he actually made it worse. He and I've got a question about this we'll throw out to the audience because I have not been able to find the answer to the question that I'm going to ask you on my own after this. So Biden, he said on Friday that Facebook is killing people, justifying their censoring of social media. He had a press event yesterday. Jim Acosta's replacement, the girl that replaced Jim Acosta as the CNN White House correspondent, is who you hear in the beginning. Her voice is low, but Biden, it's one of the rare moments where he's loud and clear and coherent. Listen.
You said last week that companies and platforms like Facebook are killing people by letting us.
Let me be precisely what I said. I'm glad you asked me that question. One, I had just read that on the Facebook pointed out that it was pointed out that Facebook, of all the misinformation, 60% of the misinformation came from 12 individuals. That's what the article said. So I was asked that question about what do I think is happening. Facebook isn't killing people. These 12 people are out there giving misinformation. Anyone listening to it is getting hurt by it. It's killing people.
Okay, so what he is now, I don't know if this is an actual article or is he talking about a briefing he was given, the presidential briefing, but he has an enemies list, Biden. There are 12 people on it. They were listed in this article that he references that I cannot find this article. So I don't know if it was for public consumption or not, but he has announced that he has an enemies list of 12 people that are responsible for all the COVID deaths in this country right now. And I want to know who these 12 people are. There was a story that came out the other day, Steve, that the number 1 and 2 people on Facebook so far as interactions was Dan Bongino and Ben Shapiro. Are they 2 of the people on his enemies list of 12 or not? Who are these people? We've known that people have had enemies lists like President Nixon, but I've never heard any president come out and brag about it. Have you seen anything like that before?
What you're saying differently, what he was saying differently. I mean, basically what he, no one pointed this out, what he is doing is defining any opinion other than his opinion as an opinion that's killing people.
That's correct.
I mean, it's outrageous when you think of it, but what's scary to me is I was watching the crowd at the border. There's like a whole different crowd now. More of them, just it looked like at the end of a Marlin game or a Yankee game, whatever, when the crowd breaks up and everybody starts going home, and there are just dozens and dozens and dozens of people blocking the gates.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen so many people in my life.
Yeah, but the difference is at the ball game, when the parking lot empties out, there's no more people. This is a nonstop, game ending. You know what I mean? It never ends. It's just a nonstop.
That they're going to ultimately let all these people that we see at the border vote.
Well, they're going to let them in. There's an article. See what they're doing here. Let me find this article. I was going to get into this earlier. There's an article today. And by the way, if anybody out there knows what article Biden is referencing with these 12 names of people that he's talking about, please send it to me because I want to know who the 12 on Biden's enemies list are. There's an article today. This is what the southern border thing's about. It's in Business Insider. And the headline, if you want to find the article, Millennials and Gen Z are the generation younger than millennials, will bring down the GOP. Listen to this. Democrats are betting their political future on racial diversity. As the white electorate continues to shrink, they reason voters of color will shun Republicans and create a durable majority for decades to come. In about 20 years, the Census Bureau says that Americans who identify as a race or ethnicity other than non-Hispanic white will make up more than half of the country's population. Republicans terrified by the demographic tsunami. By the way, are there any, if you're a Republican who's terrified that white people are only going to be half of the population according to this study in 20 years, please call. I've never met these terrified Republicans, but they mention them here. Republicans terrified by the demographic tsunami are fanning white fears of racial replacement and pushing hundreds of laws to suppress black and browns. So what's going on at the southern border is to try to make America a majority black and brown country. They're trying to make whites a minority in the country. That's what a lot of this thing at the southern border is about. And they think that when this country is majority non-white, that it'll be a utopia. That everything will be perfect and corrected. The couple problems here they have with that, blacks and Hispanics don't get along very well. They don't like each other. Half the gang problems in Chicago are Hispanic versus black gangs and turf wars. And if you take people from third world countries and you don't Americanize them and they bring their third world ideas here, they're going to be, you're going to have so it's a disaster ready to happen. But they're trying to make the country less white. That's what the whole southern border business is really about. It's their long-term Democrat goals for the future. It's a long-term plan. Well, it's scary, but but if you but it's what they're doing. I mean, this is what they're doing, and it's pretty obvious. Well, that's why they're so pissed off at the Cubans. The Democrats are not in touch with reality. Democrats blame Cubans for all their problems. If it weren't for those Cubans, we'd have Florida. That's why they're punishing Cuba, because they're relatives here in Miami. They think that the they're wrong, but they think that the Hispanics that support Trump are all Cuban. And that's just not the case. Because what happens here in this country is people come here, however they get here, legally or illegally, and once they get out in the work world and start being successful, they tend to vote Republican. They don't have a lot of tolerance for freeloaders, and so their dream that they're going to be Democrats is it's pretty much a fantasy. All right, listen, we're going to take our last break of the second hour. When we get back, we'll take some more calls. Steve Kane here. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. We'll take a break. We'll be back with your calls after this.
Right here, I've been telling you for years how great My Pillow products are, but don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the My Pillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio to tell us about his experience with the My Pillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling to get testimonial about my pillow topper.
You ordered the My Pillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress because my old mattress was getting old. So my wife's like, why don't you try that pillow, that mattress top? I went on, I used your promo code Kane. I got a great price. Got it home, and I've been using it for the last 3 nights. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
It feels like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the My Pillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while you'd flip it over. Now you can't flip mattresses anymore. They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't buying mattresses enough. So the mattress company stopped making two-sided mattresses, and mattresses are expensive. I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over
Steve Kane
a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that My Pillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saved you from buying a new mattress and turn your whole bed into a My Pillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. And you guys out there, remember, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. Now, when you use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your My Pillow mattress topper and receive 2 free My Pillows. But you've got to use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. 30% off the My Pillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big My Pillow mattress. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. Homeowners, HOAs, and business owners, it's hurricane season. Storms are coming, and when they do, you need to be prepared. If your roof is old or compromised, call Tom Laporta for a free evaluation. And when a storm comes with high winds and hail, or if projectiles hit your building, call Tom Laporta first before you call anyone else, so Tom can evaluate your damage and give you the information and tools you need when you call your insurance company so you can get the best results. Tom Laporta has the experience to help guide you through terrible times like these. So again, before you call anyone else when damage strikes, call Tom Laporta. This number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Online, LaportaContracting.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right. It is 11 minutes before 8. Steve Kane is here. I'm Brian. 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is our number. If you're just tuning in, Biden has announced that he has an enemies list. There are 12 people on it. We're trying to find out who these 12 are. I learned something yesterday. My wife, this blew my mind. I couldn't believe this. My wife and I watch QVC sometimes on the weekends, which is pretty good. It's, QVC. It's it's the other home shopping network. It's actually the better one. And they were doing Christmas in July, right? They have this Christmas in July thing, so we're watching all the Christmas ornaments and everything up there. And my wife told me something that I had not realized, that, because I'm kind of new to watching QVC with her. There was a regular on QVC. One thing I like about QVC is that it's non-political. Right, because sometimes you're watching that weekend news and it's just, it's awful what they put out there, and so sometimes you want things that aren't, don't have politics in them. And I found out that QVC is very, very political. My wife told me one of the regulars that they used to have on there all the time, and they no longer have on QVC, is Mike Lindell. That he would be on there in studio, demonstrating the My Pillow mattress topper and all of his other great products, and they have banished Mike Lindell from QVC. For what other purpose, of course, other than the fact that he's out there fighting for Trump, fighting for MAGA. He's being personally sued. His company's being sued. I mean, it's just what he's lost like $70 million in sales from these big box retailers, and I was shocked that QVC has banished Mike Lindell. But she's right, he's not. I remember he used to be there, and he's not there anymore. So, I'm wearing this morning. I wore them to work, Steve, because they're so comfortable. I had them on at home, as I always do, and I just walked out the door with them. The My Pillow, My Slippers. And if you're on YouTube, I'm showing everyone on YouTube so everybody knows, because these people are always questioning everything I do. But I have the slip-on moccasin ones, and these are so comfortable. And to call the My Slipper slippers does a major disservice, because these are meant not just to wear as slippers, but to wear all day, no matter where you go. I wear them all the time. They're so incredibly comfortable. I mean, it's even improved my mood here, actually, as I'm standing here, because I'm in such comfort with these MyPillow My Slippers. So I think we should have since QVC has banished Mike Lindell and doesn't want to grace their viewers with him during their Christmas in July. If you go to mypillow.com, they have all-time low prices on many of their products, 40% off with the promo code Kane on the My Slippers that I'm wearing. The mattress topper, 30% off. You get 2 free My Pillows with the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. But these on all the specials you see there, no matter what it says, you can take advantage of with the promo code Kane. These are, many of them, the lowest price ever for a limited time. It's time to do our own Christmas in July. It's a perfect time to stock up for your Christmas shopping. So go to mypillow.com and take advantage of these great deals. Again, the MyPillow slippers, 40% off with the promo code Kane. They have multiple styles for both men and women, not just the perfect ones that I'm wearing right now that are so very comfortable. So again, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey.
Yes, you're on the air. What's your name?
My name is John. This is an unsolicited call. Pillow topper, the top of the line pillow topper, and also the sheets, and they're wonderful.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, the MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets and the mattress topper are perfection.
And I gave you your code, and I support Lindell, and I think he's a great guy. He's terrific.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, that's right. I love it when people do that. I love it. That's nice. If he would be on the new commercial if he had a better connection. But since he was calling on the interstate with the loud wind, I can't turn that into the new spot. But call in again another time when you're not driving down the road, and you'll be on the next MyPillow commercial. So Marco Rubio because Cuba's in the news. He's in the news a lot. And I'm not a big fan of Little Marco. I don't like Little Marco, but he brought up something that when I was at the Pro Freedom Cuba demonstration in downtown Miami, I saw some signs. People had some signs up. You'll see one of them in my video. Biden, if we don't intervene, the Russians will. And I thought, what is this? 88? What do they mean? And Marco Rubio was on TV a lot this week talking about it. So let me play this clip. This is little Marco Rubio talking about Russia and the situation in Cuba.
Horrifying. This is a bloodbath 90 miles off of our shores. It's destabilizing, and I want to know what Joe Biden's going to do when 1,000 special forces from Russia arrive on Cuban territory to help.
No, Steve's got a radio studio at home, Sarah.
That's what's coming next. That's what's coming next.
Do you have any evidence that Russia's on the move there, or that may happen?
Well, Russia's already there. I mean, they have an intelligence station, so do the Chinese. But it's the model they followed everywhere in the world. And it may not even be directly Russian troops. It may be with these private contractors that are basically Russian troops that they send around the world. But this is what they've done in place after place in Venezuela, in Syria, another part in eastern Ukraine. And so there's no doubt in my mind that if the Cuban government requests it, the Russians will provide that.
Wow. So here we have Biden. I mean, everything Biden has touched is a complete failure. So the Soviet, Putin's basically the Soviet Union by another name. So the Russians, I didn't even know they had private contracting companies like we do. So we're going to have the old Soviet Union back in our hemisphere running Cuba under Biden. He's basically, according to Marco Rubio, inviting the Russians in. I can't think of anything Biden has touched that's not been a disaster. Can you, Steve?
Just one catastrophe after.
No. And the media, of course, because they hate Trump, they want to, they want to ignore it. Every day there's a massive story for the media to report on, and they don't want to report on it because their job isn't to report the news, but is to be a PR agent for Biden.
That stuff that was going on over and including the Texas trip, which was the most.
Yeah.
The Biden people coming.
Yeah.
There was no coverage on any of the networks.
Yeah.
Not a single minute was devoted to that catastrophe.
Oh, you mean that 5 of them have COVID? They're not running that on the liberal news networks? They're covering it up?
Not a single network covered it.
Yeah. Yeah. But they cover it up. They cover it up is what they do. Yeah. I tell you. You know, they should be ashamed of themselves. I mean, what do they tell themselves? Oh, you know, I was reading this article during the break. I don't have Showtime. I haven't had Showtime in years, but Showtime has a new show on, and I was reading this article about it. Okay, listen to this. I tell you, things you thought NYPD Blue was controversial back in 1990, whatever it was on. Listen to this. A dark comedy premiered on Showtime July 18th that centers around a depressed, suicidal widow and her grown daughter's family. Adding to the mix is a teen character who was born female but hopes to transition to male. Okay, now that's not the big controversial part. Okay, because I think every show, it used to be every show had to have a gay character. Now every show has to have either a transgender character or someone who wants to transition. So anyway, there's a scene in this show where she's talking about her pronouns and talking about her sex change operation to transition to a male, and has a conversation about how she's white, how she wants to have, she has a conversation about how she wants to talk to the doctor on designing her penis. And I know, isn't this is the world we're in? And of course, she wants to have a special kind of penis designed. Can you imagine? What kind of penis do you think she wants to have designed? This white girl transitioning to a boy. Exactly. She wants to have... Yeah, no, I'm not. She wants to have the doctor give her a black penis. I don't know how they would do that. My understanding is they take the vagina and reshape it into a penis. Well, I know, but I don't know how they would. Yeah, and it's a whole scene and a whole conversation and about having a black penis. She wants to have a black penis because I guess that'll. I don't know, what will that do? She'll be all white except for the penis. Does that mean she's? I don't know. I can't make. And this is, by the way, this is not a joke in the thing. It's a dark comedy, but this is a serious conversation. I can't play it for you on the air. That's correct. I can't play you the audio on the air of the scene because it would just be one I might as well just play a beep, long beep and tell you this is the scene because it would be nonstop beeps. But yeah, that's how Showtime is dealing with both the trans issue and the systemic racism issue. Is the trans character wants to have a black penis even though they are white. Oh my goodness.
Lack of creativity.
I know.
Did people get paid for it?
It's on television. It's on Showtime, so that somebody got paid. Yeah, to me, it's more. If you were doing something controversial, okay, like if you're making a movie or a television show and you want to have like a controversial family issue, you have a child who is coming out of the closet as straight. Like they either they were gay and now they're coming out as straight, or they were something like this. Because coming out when a parent learns that their child is heterosexual these days, I think it's more of a shock than if they tell them they're trans or if they're gay. That to me, if you want real controversy on television, we need to have television shows with characters coming out of the closet as straight. Now you won't get any Emmy nods for that because that would be considered homophobic. But that's where it is. All right, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. It's actually 8:01, 2 hours down, 1 to go. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Florida's law. How did you guess that she wanted a black penis? That's amazing.
It's kind of that strange psychic power that
I guess. I mean,
fix liberal nonsense.
yeah. I mean, you really got that one. All right, we'll take our break and be right back.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. This is Brian Craig. I'm in studio with Debbie from I Will Advisors. She has an incredible new service to tell you about called I Will Advocates. Debbie, what is I Will Advocates and how are you helping seniors?
Well, Brian, over the past few years of owning a Medicare insurance agency, we've learned that there's a huge need for Medicare advocacy, that a lot of people don't have a child or a spouse that can assist them with their medical needs, and that's where we step in.
There's a lot of things
It's a Showtime show. I tweeted an article. Let me see.
help them with that.
If you're having a problem at the doctor's office, having problems scheduling an appointment at a time,
I know.
we can step in. If you're having
It's called The End. It's on Showtime. The End. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
and you feel like you're being neglected, we'll be there for you at a touch of a button, whether it's to call the nurse's station or assist in any other way.
So if someone's in the hospital, they feel they're not getting the care that they need, they haven't seen their doctor, they haven't seen their nurse, they can actually call you and you'll contact the hospital for them?
Absolutely. We act as your family. We'll step up, we'll call the nurse's station and ask for some assistance. If we can't get anything done there, we'll go to the higher levels.
Now, this is a service that you're offering. Now, they do not have to be an existing client of I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for any Medicare client. We can assist in any way. We don't need to be your insurance agent. We're just here to help you with your medical needs.
This is an incredible opportunity for those of you who are Medicare recipients. Debbie at I Will Advocates will help you with your prescriptions. You'll set up doctor's appointments for them, including the primary care physician and specialist, right?
Of course. We'll assist in anything to help you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by your doctor, they'll step in for that and even help you if you're in the hospital. Basically, what you're offering is a concierge service to senior citizens.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does this cost?
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have the security of knowing that you have an experienced, compassionate advocate just a touch of a button away.
To learn more, call Debbie's office.
Hey, Gabrielle.
954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
Hi, this is Lori Kane, and I want to talk to you about Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. I just love Dr. Gupta. I've been seeing him for around 3 years. He always has time for me. He never does unnecessary work, and his prices are very affordable. And if you need implants, go see him because he has the best prices around. Let me give you the number. Write it down. It's 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633, BrightonDentalCare.com. He's just the best.
Attention seniors, have you protected you and your family from financial ruin? You are invited to attend Attorney Barry's
Steve Kane Show.
estate planning workshop. Make sure you and your family
Steve Kane Show.
are protected even if you already have a trust.
Yep.
Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance.
What's your name?
Like divorcing spouses, lawsuits,
Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
agencies, and the IRS. Learn how to prevent running out of money before
No.
you run out of life.
A lot of trolls today. A lot of trolls on the phones today.
Learn how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets. This free workshop with attorney Barry Siegel is Tuesday, July 20th at 10 a.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray. Seating is limited, so reserve your seat for this free estate planning workshop. Call now, 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 855-352-3782. 855-352-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1.
All right, third and final hour has begun. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. You with us, Steve? Okay, now, a lot of you may not know this, a lot of you probably do, but the great governor of Florida, the greatest governor in the history of all governors of every state, not just Florida, Ron DeSantis, has sent Florida law enforcement to Texas to help with border enforcement alongside other MAGA governors and Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas. And they're involved in apprehensions on the border. And what Greg Abbott, when he was at that town hall meeting with Trump a couple weeks ago with Hannity, he said, we have the authority in the state to apprehend illegals crossing the border. He said, but what we have to do on the immigration issue, we have to turn them over to Border Patrol, and they just release them back into Texas. He said, what I've done is I've declared a state of emergency, and we are charging them for the full extent of the law for whatever crime they may be committing, which could be trespassing. You know, you cross the border illegally, all of a sudden you're on some Texan ranch, you're trespassing on private property, boom. And trespassing is a pretty serious charge. People don't realize you can get some heavy fines and penalties that none of them can pay back, so they have to do the time for trespassing. So
they can't control.
Well, they're doing some, and there's an update here. So the reason that Ron DeSantis and other Republican governors have sent law enforcement there is to assist local Texas law enforcement as much as possible in apprehending people. Okay, and DeSantis was talking yesterday. This is at FoxNews.com. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis stepped up his criticism of President Biden's immigration policy Monday, warning that law enforcement personnel informed him, because the Florida guys in Texas are in contact with Governor DeSantis, warning that law enforcement personnel informed him that many migrants they encountered at the border were bound for Florida, even though they're on the southern border in Texas. Governor DeSantis targeted Biden shortly after the governor returned from a trip to the southern border in support of his move to send Florida law enforcement resources to Texas to assist with the local response. DeSantis said he was surprised by the discussion with the state officers sent to the border, telling them that these people are headed to Florida. They've made, now these are the Florida law enforcement that they've sent there. Listen to this. This number I'm going to give you is the number of apprehensions that have happened just with the Florida officers that DeSantis sent to Texas. They have made over 2,000 apprehensions and 100 felony arrests. Almost 70% of everybody they have interacted with said their ultimate destination was the state of Florida, DeSantis said as a press conference yesterday. And then he went on to say, if you think that having a wide open border 1,000 miles away is far and it doesn't affect you here, you're wrong. That's amazing. And the reason they come to Florida is because they figure they're not looking for him here, right? And this is a red state, and what's going on is the federal government. It came out last week. They were using the Army to do this, but they are relocating them to red states in the hopes of turning them blue, like Florida. So Florida is a destination for them because of that, because it's a Republican state that they're trying to turn Democrat. Well, it's good news that it's been exposed, and DeSantis has arrested 2,000 of them. That's 2,000 that aren't coming here now, right? And a few hundred on felony charges. So that's good. So I think it's amazing. I'll tell you though, the media blackout on this. I didn't even know that DeSantis. I saw this on the Fox News website this morning, but I didn't even know Governor DeSantis had a press conference out in Texas. The media don't want to report what's going on out there. They'd rather report on Britney Spears and her battle with her dad that no one cares about. I know. I saw her the other day. She was in Hawaii with her boyfriend, and she was driving a $200,000. If she's a slave, please enslave me.
Britney Spears out.
I never was in. I was never interested.
Ridiculous.
Well, but there's real stories they're not covering. The Britney Spears is filler, so they can avoid.
The real story. Nobody's got it right. Everybody's doing all this.
Yeah.
She's a nutcase.
Yeah.
Key to that whole thing, I don't know when they're going to...
Yeah, now you're doing it.
Has refused to be tested, to have the case disposed of.
Yeah.
She won't submit to testing. And that's why she's not getting her way.
All right, now, okay, here's a question. Who is more likely to pass mental health cognitive testing, Britney Spears or Joe Biden? Who's more likely to pass and be released onto their custody of themselves? That's a tough one. Yeah. Who's more? All right, our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Good morning. You're on the radio.
When you're not supposed to be in the sun.
Speak slower so that people can hear your attempt to try to do something.
Your attempted humor.
Say it again. Why was I where?
That Cuban thing in Miami.
At the Cuban thing in Miami, I was there because now again, as a Democrat, I know this is something that you're disgusted by, but I support democracy for the people that are enslaved in Cuba.
Talk about why would you go there? It's nothing to do with them, but why would you go there in the hot sun when you can't even go to a Trump rally?
The Trump rally was several weeks ago, okay, before I was being treated for the problem I'm having. And Miami, and the event in Miami was a 20-minute drive from my house, and the Trump rally was 4.5 hours from my house each way. Yes, it was. Yeah, in the rain and in the traffic, 4.5 hours. But what's your point? So I'm 25 minutes from my house, or somewhere that's 4 and 4.5. By the way, you don't know where I live, and you don't know what the conditions were, and you don't know what my health conditions are. I found out. See, this is, and let me tell you what he's talking about, okay? And I'm glad you did this, because you're not going to get hung up on that quick. Now he's in the point where he wants to be hung up on because he's got his material out. Well, I'm hosting the program. You're just a caller. When I call your show, you can interrupt me, all right? But you've given me an opportunity to share a message for Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. I went over to Any Lab Test Now of Boca to get a COVID antibody test, okay, after I was vaccinated. And while I was over there, I got the basic checkup, which consists of the 16 most commonly ordered testing panels of primary care physicians, and I found out I have a couple conditions that I needed to be treated with. I immediately that week went to the doctor. They prescribed medication, and I'm doing better now. I was not doing better a few weeks ago. That's why I didn't go to the Trump rally. Yeah, taking your calls, I think, is that one. So he gave up on that one. So listen, Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs, they of course they do the COVID testing, which we're talking a lot about. In fact, someone in my family is going over there today for COVID testing. But also they have thousands of lab tests, and they guarantee the lowest price on all of their thousands of lab tests. My daughter is going over there. She goes there regularly for some lab tests. She's on some prescription medication. She has to get tested every so often. And the prices, get this, Steve, the prices are so low at Any Lab Test Now of Boca that it is cheaper for her to go there and pay for the test than to pay the copay to go visit her doctor for the very same test. Is that amazing? That's how low the prices are. And plus, you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located, of course, in Boca, in the Sandalwood Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road, north of Hillsboro. They're open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. Their number, 561-237-5009. And Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, over by the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Their number, 954-906-5009. 5983. All right, we'll take a quick break and be right back. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve is here. Don't go anywhere.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy
Steve Kane Show.
Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major
Hold on.
brands like
Steve Kane Show.
Firestone at discount prices that absolutely
Hey, Barry, hold on.
can't be beat. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a...
Oh, why does he care? Because he's I could not go to the Trump rally because of the problem I was having that I'm being treated for. And unfortunately, it takes some time when you're on some prescription medications to get a therapeutic dose in you. All right, now we have somebody on the line that just in less than an hour and 45 minutes will be on stage at their workshop. Attorney Barry Siegel, whose estate planning workshop is taking place at 10 a.m. this morning in Delray at the South County Civic Center. Hey, Barry. Oh, man, yeah. Good morning, Barry.
How are you doing?
We're doing great. How is the workshop coming along? I thought you would be there setting it up right now.
Yeah, we are. We're very excited about it, and just as Steve said, we'll have a nice sized group of people there today, and certainly if you did not make a reservation, please do not come today.
Oh. Oh.
If you have a reservation, certainly we're looking forward to seeing you, and our team will be there, and we give a lot of good information. Of course, that workshop is completely free, and we'll talk about probate avoidance, we'll talk about protecting inheritances for loved ones, protecting your assets during your lifetime, and a host of other things that will be helpful for you and your family to protect themselves.
That's right. And so there you heard the announcement. Attorney Barry Siegel's free estate planning workshop today in Delray is now a full house. So if you're not already scheduled to show up to the free workshop, you'll have to wait for the next one because there's no room left in this one. And I've been to, I don't know, maybe 10 or so workshops of Attorney Barry Siegel's, and I have learned something new at each one. And they're also very interesting, and Barry does put on a very interesting presentation. Some might even call it a show. It's very interesting and entertaining, as well as informative. So, well, when the next one is coming up, we'll let you know about it. But Attorney Barry Siegel's office, you can call toll-free 855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782. All right, we'll have a great workshop, Barry, and we'll talk later in the week.
All right, I'll look forward to it. Take care, guys.
All right, take care. Yeah, I know, yes, we do have some twisted people in the listening audience, but that's talk radio. It wouldn't be talk radio if we didn't have twisted listeners, right? You got it. All right, let's go back to our phones. Phone's very busy. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Good morning. Long-time listener, first-time caller, Tim from Palm Beach County. Hey, look, I agree with you both. I think DeSantis is one of the best governors I've ever seen in my lifetime. And what he has been doing on the border there is quite amazing. And
oh, yeah.
I agree with him and in his sentiments about illegal immigration coming to Florida. I've been able to see it firsthand. Now, obviously we are a melting pot, or should be one. There are a lot of people that do not assimilate. Got this country that...
Well, here's the deal. Okay, here's the deal. By the way, welcome to the. Well, finish your comment, then we'll talk. Yeah, go ahead.
So I live near Lake Worth, Florida, and when the whole entire country picks up and creates its own country within the United States borders, like Lake Worth, I mean, it's like a lot of community. I tell you that.
Well, I tell you, I've been up to Lake Worth, and there's some parts of Lake Worth I would not drive through with my windows down these days. But I'll tell you, okay, the problem with the immigrants of today, you know, we have these anti-American liberals running everything. And, you know, some of my great-grandparents came from elsewhere, like many of yours, and my great-grandfather came from Greece at the turn of the century. My grandmother and her siblings spoke zero Greek. And I never knew my great-grandfather. He died before I was born, but I would ask, Grandma, why don't you speak Greek? And she told me, she said, my dad wanted us to be Americans, not Greeks. And he didn't want it, he wanted us to speak English. And what you have now is you have this wave of uncontrolled immigrants that are third world peasants in Latin America. They're not becoming Americanized, and they move into an area and turn it into you know, Guatemala, you know, or
you also see the signs during tax season. This many kids, this amount of money, you know, and
yeah. Yeah, no, you do. Absolutely, you do. There's no, you know, I don't mind the bilingual. You know, when I went to the rally in Miami, I couldn't understand 98% of what was being said because it was in Spanish, you know, and I don't speak Spanish, which is cool. But you know what? They spoke English because I was asking them to translate, you know, some of the people in the crowd with me. But, you know, the wave of immigrants that, you know, my mother-in-law is an immigrant from Canada. She considers herself an American. She's Americanized. Melania has been Americanized. Barron, he may speak, you know, Barron is American. He's not whatever she is, Slovakian or whatever. I don't even know if he might, you know. But, you know, and the Cubans that come here become Americanized. But the southern border, there's no immersion into American culture from them.
I tell you, I wouldn't worry that much about I saw yesterday on television. They're not really staying down in that area at all. They're all getting shit.
Well, it's worse. Well, that's worse. You know,
Biden isn't the Biden regime sending them around?
Yes. Yeah. Well, in the daytime too. Why do it in the middle of the night? Do it all day because the media won't report it. Day, night, they don't care. Midnight, noon, it's all the same.
Far left-leaning liberal friend who told me, quit trying to swim upstream, quit trying to fight it. It's going to happen. There's nothing that can save us now.
Is your liberal friend a man or a woman?
Well, a man.
Is he gay or straight?
An alpha, actually. But
he's what?
An alpha.
Okay, then why is, okay, so he's a manly man. He can't be very manly if he's a liberal. Why is he a liberal?
I always wonder.
No, I'm serious. What kind, I mean, if a guy is an alpha, Trump's an alpha male, okay? I don't know. An alpha male who's a liberal, that doesn't even make sense. Are you sure?
Maybe he's just messing with me. I don't know.
I don't think that's very alpha. But you know, ask him what makes him a liberal.
But he says in order for biblical prophecies to unfold, America must fall.
So he's a Christian. So he's a Christian? Well, what is his? Ask him what his opinion is on the abortion on demand as a Christian that Biden and the liberals support. That would be in conflict with his Christianity.
Conversation. That'll be a new conversation.
And where in the Bible is America that must fall for the Bible prophecies to come true? I missed that.
No clue. It's just something that he says.
He is not an alpha male. I appreciate. Oh yeah, he wants to get away because they might hear him. But an alpha male is not a liberal. That's impossible. He's faking it. He's pretending to be alpha. He's the opposite. What's the opposite of alpha? I don't know. Omega? I don't know. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Oh my goodness. Yes. All right.
Well, this guy. You're trying to be funny. Hold on. Let me. Okay. Start over. When you're trying to, let me give you a tip. I know you're new. When you're calling in to try to be funny and insult us and troll us, speak clearly so that your unfunny attempt can be heard. Oh, this is the part where he thought he would be hung up on already, so he's out of material, so now he's just making noises. Oh, there comes the real voice. That was not an alpha voice either. Did you hear it? Did you hear the tone? Yeah. You know who that is? That's the guy with the Southern accent without the fake Southern accent. The guy that called earlier with the Southern accent, that's the real guy. That's him without the fake Southern accent. Oh my goodness. We got a collection, man. You know, over the year, this is the longest running radio show in Florida, right? On the radio since 1977. And every few years, we've got a new cast of rejects that become the Chronics, right? You remember the Black Phantom? Oh man, that was the best. Black Randy.
Oh, come on,
Copa Rick.
Big talents of days going by.
Yeah, Copa Rick. Remember Copa Rick? The and now look what we got. We got this guy who's not even worthy of a handle.
Mighty have fallen.
Oh man, I'm here to tell you. Now, I got to tell you guys this. Steve, your roof above your head that Tom Laporta put together the roof is now done, and now he's moving on to all the black mold inside the walls that you allowed to be infected with this black mold from the.
Really exciting.
Oh my goodness. Now, here's the thing. We are in hurricane season. It rains every day, usually multiple times a day, and it's just a matter of not if we're going to get a hurricane, but when. It's going to happen at some point, and certainly we're going to get rain each and every day for many more months to come. And do not do what Steve Kane did. When you see a wet spot on your ceiling, do not ignore it. Call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. Have him do a roof inspection. He'll do it at no charge. And find out what the problem is. You very well may need just a simple repair. We had a caller call in last week with a condo, and he had other roofers come out. They told him he needed a whole new roof. Tom Laporta came out and says, no, just need some repair work, not a whole new roof. And I know, that's absolutely amazing, and that's what you want. You don't want to, and what happened with Steve, sadly, is he ignored the wet spot on the ceiling, and then there was another wet spot here, a wet spot there, a wet spot everywhere, and before you know it, his whole roof was ready to collapse, and the water had dripped down into not just the ceiling, but the drywall throughout the home, and that deadly black mold grew throughout. So Steve's basically having a whole new house built. But if you call Tom Laporta when you see that first wet spot on your ceiling, a simple repair may be all that you need. Give him a call. He's a good MAGA guy, and this number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Online, LaportaContracting.com. And if you missed any of that, he's listed at SteveKaneShow.com. All right, we'll be right back after this.
I'm paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires.
Steve Kane Show. Mm-hmm.
Only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Veterans and spouses of veterans, you may be entitled to benefits that you are not aware of, including long-term care benefits. Call attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group and find out what benefits are available to you. With offices in Boca Raton and Fort Lauderdale, call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782. 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, we're back. I'm Brock. Yep.
Can you hear my mic?
Yeah, I can hear. I can hear you now, but I couldn't hear you before.
Okay.
You're back now.
I wanted to point out to them about if Tom comes out to, take a look at your roof and ask him about the Trump roof. He carries one of the options here. many options to choose from. But one of them is the same tile that Donald Trump uses on his house.
Yeah, I have one right behind me. Tom Laporta gave me one behind me. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see a Spanish roof tile behind me. This is one of the tiles from Mar-a-Lago. I keep this here for when President Trump comes in studio. I'm going to have him autograph it. But yeah, Tom Laporta has access to the Mar-a-Lago roof tiles, and he can give you a Trump roof that you can brag to all your friends about. All right, our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning. It's Jim from New York.
Hey, Jim.
So I need some advice.
Oh.
Quick comment about that crank caller. When I think I've told you this before, back in the days when I was 15 or 16, I used to crank call FTL all the time, right? Best station ever. But I was 16 and immature. What's sad is this guy is 40 and has no life.
40? You want to up that a little bit?
You're probably right. So what a sad, pathetic state this guy has in life. But anyway.
Well, you know what that is. Now, by the way, you weren't the twerp, were you?
The bomber, the screamer.
Oh, the screamer! I remember the screamer. Oh yeah, I remember the screamer. Oh my gosh. Well, with the caller, there was the same guy with the southern accent as the guy that called last time, right? We got the real voice for a second, okay? And you go way back, so you know all the crew. What's going on with that caller is a complete meltdown over the fact that Trump. Remember that caller? He said he's got this liberal friend who's an alpha male. This caller with the fake southern accent, he's the opposite of what an alpha male is, and he sees Trump, and it makes him feel like a little tiny guy, and he sees how no matter what they do to Trump, he becomes more and more popular, and it's causing a mental breakdown. It's just driving him nuts. He's triggered by it.
House the Congress, they got the White House, but I guess nothing. I guess they're looking around what's going on and seeing things collapsing all over the place.
Well, if they had competent Democrat leadership that was furthering the Democrat agenda, I mean, this thing that happened with Kamala, they thought that they had this whole thing planned with these Texas Democrats to Washington. 5 of them get COVID. And Kamala, we don't know, right? And it was just now they can't use them. You know how much money they spent on that between the private jets? They put them up in fancy hotels. They were going to have a national tour with these people, and it's all blown now. And you know what's going to come out? Those 5 people, my guess is they weren't vaccinated.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
What's going to come out is I think that what's her name? The vice president.
Yeah.
Shown to have COVIDs too. That's what I think. But that's what the powers that be in the Democratic Party are trying to cover up. That's what.
Yeah. All right. The Screamer. Oh my gosh. So, what did you grow up to be?
I own an insurance agency. I'm doing pretty well for myself.
Oh my goodness.
I grew up and I have a family and a life. Unlike people like that. But
it's so exciting.
Advice, please.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
My kid is starting college obviously in the fall. So all of a sudden we get this email that is a required reading book prior to starting, which is called "Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man." You can't make this up.
Is that the real title? Because I might get that. Is that a real title? Because I'm gonna get that book.
I gotta ask you a question. You're really going to spend the double and triple digits that it costs to give a child a college education today, and you're going to pay money to have them have their brain washed with this nonsense?
That's my conundrum. I'm in my right mind. I want to call the school, and do what we do as and as concerned. Hey, what is this garbage? What is this direct? Right? My kids are good conservatives. I don't want them coming out brainwashed.
Well, God, just quit while you're ahead. No, don't send him to college.
Yeah, have him get a job and send himself to college when he's ready. When he came home with this book, Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man, did you get back to your old scream? Did you scream like you used to?
Yes. You know what though? I mean, I'm proud of him. He said, "Look at this garbage. I'm not reading this." And
good for him.
He knows and he gets it, but that's my conundrum, though, right?
It's not a conundrum. I'm giving you your answer. I'm giving you your answer.
Okay.
Don't.
That's.
I almost didn't send my kid into the yard.
Yeah. Do you see what they're doing in the Army now? Do you know that in the Army, this came out yesterday, all these things are leaking out, It came out yesterday that the Army has hired a British company to monitor the internet search engine traffic of our military personnel to classify people that are extremist. And among the terms, they get a soldier or airman or sailor identified as an extremist is if they're Googling things about Black Lives Matter. And they're trying to identify MAGA people in the service and root them out. That's what they're doing.
The subjectivity nowadays, and it's such a small minority of people, these liberals, but they got Hollywood, they got the media, now they have the entire government, and it's scary, man. They have academia.
Their numbers are smaller than you think. They seem large in number because they control, television, movies, most of the news, but their numbers are really small. Our opinion is the majority opinion on all these things.
Like me, who I get vocal amongst our inner circle, but I got to be careful what I say out in public because I'm in liberal New York. I can get canceled, and then all of a sudden my money's going out. I'm losing money.
Well, I'm going to search for this book you told me about, Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man, and if it's interesting, maybe we'll do a reading on the air and have some of these uncomfortable. What is uncomfortable to say to a black man? I don't get it. I'm not uncomfortable to say anything to a black person.
You've said in the past, black people are expected to be spoken to a different way by whites, especially liberal whites, instead of treating them like normal people, like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Info around things.
Mm-hmm. It sure is. All right, hey, take care. Jim from New York, the Screamer. Oh my gosh, that was, I don't know, do you remember the Screaming, Steve? Do you remember the Screamer? Yeah, I don't think you were a victim of that as much as I was when I was on the air overnights. But I remember that what he used to do, for those that don't know, is he would call in and he would just scream at the top of his lungs into the phone. And unlike today, back in those days, we had like rotary phones still, Now we have modern technologies, like the guy with the southern accent, I already know who he is and his name and where he's calling from and everything, because we got computers and technology. Back then we didn't have any of that. And and I wasn't as skilled as I am today at talk radio, So these callers back then, you really couldn't do anything about them like you can today. And plus I didn't have the skill set. And he used to call me, that guy called me so much screaming. Oh my goodness, it was a different era. All right, our number toll free 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I cannot wait to get this book, Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. I hope it's worthy of reading on the air, because that'll be fun. That'll be fun. But this thing that's going on in the military, Steve. What's going on in the military is really frightening. I know your son's an officer and everything, but they're rooting out. They're trying to find Trump supporters in the military and get rid of them. And what they're doing with the military, with this critical race theory and everything, is they're trying to turn the military against the country, against the population of the country, the civilians. And I've never heard of such a thing, but they're doing it now. I mean, this is the kind of thing like Gaddafi would do, to turn the military, or what they do in Cuba, turn the military against the people, and we're seeing that take place in here. And what's going on? It's 40 years of socialist college education, and these brainwashed communists that became communist in college. There's so many of them now in the Democrat Party, and they're judges and vice presidents and everything else now, that it's really Pretty scary time. All right, let's take a quick break. Okay, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
Craig here. I'm in studio with my wife, Kathy, and she's here to tell you about her experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Well, as you know, Brian, I was waking up in pain almost every morning for years and years, and we had bought a new mattress not that long ago, but it still was not doing the trick. So I said to you, let's get the MyPillow mattress topper, and let's see if it helps or makes any kind of a difference. And I have to tell you, after sleeping on it just one night, I woke up, no pain, I felt incredible. It made a huge, huge difference for me. And the pain has not returned.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Now go to MyPillow.com and order your MyPillow mattress topper and do what Kathy and I did. Use the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. And this is an incredible deal because with the promo code KANE, you will save 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper and get 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. It comes in every size too, from twin all the way up to California King. That's promo code KANE, KANE, at MyPillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Oh, okay, Steve, I looked up this book, okay, and Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. It came out in November, and I'm going to buy it. It's available on Amazon, Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. Here's the description on Amazon. Instant New York Times bestseller, an urgent primer on race and racism from the host of the viral hit video series, Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. You cannot fix a problem. This is the description of the book, okay, that I'm reading. You cannot fix a problem you do not know you have. This is the thing where we're all racist, we just don't know it. So they're going to tell us, they're going to explain to us how we're all racist. Oh, okay, I got to get this book. You cannot fix a problem you do not know you have. So begins Emmanuel Acko in his essential guide to the truths Americans need to know to address the systemic racism that has recently electrified protest in all 50 states. There is a fix, Acko says, but in order to access it, the fix, we're going to have some uncomfortable conversations. So the uncomfortable conversations with a black man is, you're a racist, Whitey. That's going to be the whole book, I can imagine. Okay. In Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man, the author takes on all the questions, large and small, insensitive and taboo, many white Americans are afraid to ask, yet which all Americans need the answers to now more than ever. With the same open-hearted generosity that has made his video series a phenomena, Acko explains the vital core of concepts such as white privilege, cultural appropriation, and reverse racism. In his own words, cultural appreciation means like if you're a white kid that likes rap and hip-hop music, you're appropriating another culture and you're a racist. In his own words, he provides a space of compassion and understanding in a discussion that can lack both. He asks only for the reader's curiosity, but along the way, he will galvanize all of us to join the anti-racist fight. Oh my goodness. This is going to be good, Steve. This is going to be a good book. I'll message him. I'll reach out to him. If he doesn't come on, though, we can read selected passages from the book. He is the son, this guy, he is the son of Nigerian immigrants who went on to play in the NFL. So this guy played in the NFL. I guess he didn't. Emmanuel Acko, A-C-H-O. No, I guess he didn't make it in the NFL, so became a race baiter. I guess. I don't know. He seems a little young to be retired. How old's Brady? Well, whatever. Racism is not a virus of the body, it is a virus of the mind, he says. Oh, okay. So we caught it. It's something we catch. White people have caught the racism. Will a mask stop us? Is there a vaccine? I guess his book is the vaccine, right? You buy the book and then you got the answers, right? It's like a cure book. All right, we'll take our last break of the day. When we get back, we'll be back with the Gold Report, all right? I'm Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
You've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall.
Steve Kane Show. Hey, Joellen, hold on. We'll take your call after the Gold Report. Hold on.
5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. And tomorrow weekdays, Junior Radio 2, Richard Pearl on politics. Unfiltered, unapologetic,
Unreal.
Controversial. Richard Pearl tells it like it is. No topic is off limits. This is talk radio like it should be. You've known him as a master of nutraceuticals. Now, listen to Richard Pearl as you've never heard him before. Richard Pearl on politics. High noon weekdays on this radio station. Be there.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, here we are, the high point of the show that all Steve Kane listeners look forward to each and every day, the Gold Report, brought to you by William Youngerman of William Youngerman, Inc. William has been advising clients on trends and movements in the gold and silver and all the precious metals markets for over 50 years. And he has been here with us on the Steve Kane Show. I think it's something like 20...
Getting there. It's getting close. No, not that long. But getting there. Eventually it will be. Yeah.
Let's see what's going on today. William, what's it looking like? Good.
What's going on in the world? The stock market falling 725 points. Yesterday, actually down as much as almost 1,000. Oil back down to $66 a barrel. The dollar very strong, and yet gold, after testing the $1,800 number yesterday, getting actually down momentarily to $1,795, rebounded quickly to $1,812.60, closing up 40 cents on the day. Silver lost 48 cents at $25.16 the ounce. Platinum was down $27 at $1,068, and palladium was down $36 at $2,526. Gold still the commodity owned in light of the world conditions and what's going on. We see gold rebounding this morning, up $10.40 at $1,823. Silver down a penny at $25.15 the ounce. Platinum down $6 at $1,062, and palladium down $2 at $2,524 the ounce. As I said, oil is hanging around $66 a barrel. And just in case you thought Bitcoin was the thing to own after hitting $65,000, Bitcoin's down again today, breaking through down through that $30,000 number, currently at $29,760, proving once again the only real currency in the world.
That's for sure.
Indeed, for over 50 years, we've made good two-way markets in the precious metals. And whether you're buying or selling, you can come in and walk out with the gold or silver, whatever you're buying. We have it in stock for immediate delivery, but we also buy everything, and that is regardless of the form, whether it's a jewelry form or silver ware, or if it's gold, silver, platinum, palladium, bring it in. We'll be glad.
Now, if you have any questions, you can call William Youngerman. His store opens up weekdays at 10 a.m., and the number is 800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com, and the address 150 East Palmetto Park Road, right here in Boca Raton, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow. All right, take care. Steve, you keep coming in and out on me, so you're with us now? Okay, sorry, you're cutting in and out on me there. So, okay, well, let's take a call or two and see what's going on. Good morning, Joe Ellen in Fort Lauderdale. You're on the radio.
Hi, yes, I was listening to 850 FM or AM this morning.
Well, here's the thing, okay? This thing with Biden, with his enemies list of 12 people that are killing people. I was watching The Five yesterday, and they have this one lady on. I don't know her name. She's on Fox Business. She's a little older than some of the others on there, and she's got like a deep, husky voice. You know what I'm talking? I don't know her name. And, okay, and she made a very good point. She said that Biden talking about these 12 people that are killing people and they must be disappeared. He says this is what dictators do. In dictatorships, they always limit speech, they always limit the media, and they always tell you it's for your own good. And, you know, what I was talking about earlier, we've had, you know, the guy that called in about the left-wing college education, we've had about 40 years now, maybe 50 years, of socialist communist indoctrination in the college system. And right now, it's finally being realized. There's so many of them in positions of power at every agency of government, both federal and local, that the Democrats are making their big move. This is the big move, and they're doing it all right now. This is more radical than when Obama came in with Obamacare. What's going on right now? Much more radical. Yeah.
Texas for governor, and they had him on Jesse Kelly's show, and he was saying, you know, what has Greg Abbott done all these years? I mean, now he's doing something on the border.
Let me tell you something. Donald Trump did a town hall meeting with Governor Abbott on Sean Hannity's show on Fox a couple weeks ago. That's an endorsement, okay? And all these people, including Alan West, who's running because he's got nothing else to do, okay? They might as well be Mitt Romney's. If you know, you don't want to divide our vote. If Donald Trump endorses someone, and I believe he endorsed Greg Abbott at that town hall meeting. I don't care if it's Alan West. Don't listen to them. Don't support them. Don't vote for them. They're doing the work, even if they don't know it. They're doing the work of the Romneys and the Liz Cheneys and the Republican establishment.
That didn't seem to sound like him. But, I mean, you may be right, but...
Well, he's a politician. I mean, listen, hold on now. Obama and Bill Clinton, anybody that's a politician is charming. If they're not charming, they're not a successful politician. Donald Trump is on a mission of draining the Republican swamp of these rhinos. He has endorsed Governor Abbott. I don't care if Ronald Reagan came back from the dead and Trump says vote for Abbott and not him. You vote for the guy Trump said to vote for. Oh, well, but Kevin McCarthy is a snake, and he's a traitor. Well, listen, there was only one perfect man. His name was Jesus, okay? Everyone else is imperfect. And you know what? Maybe Trump made a mistake picking Ronna McDaniel to run the RNC. But Kevin McCarthy's he inherited Kevin McCarthy, okay? You know? So he's got to work with that guy right now. But he inherited him. He didn't go out and pick him. But these guys, including Alan West, that are running against Greg Abbott, I'm sorry. You might as well vote Democrat. They're disruptors. They got nothing better to do. They're rhinos, or they're egomaniacs, or they're just, you know. I'm not checking out anybody. Trump said Greg Abbott. Trump said Greg Abbott. I don't need to check out anybody. Okay? I mean, yeah, go ahead.
And one last thing. You know, what do you think about the music that they still play for Rush Limbaugh for Bucks?
I think it's disgusting. I've listened to that a couple times. And let me tell you why it's disgusting. Okay? It's not because if they were doing a show that was Rush Limbaugh-like, I would say, okay. But what they're doing, that the first week they did a poll, who should be the presidential nominee in 2024, Trump or DeSantis? And they're playing, Rush music. That's not a Rush show. Buck Sexton is from the intelligence community. Okay? Okay, I don't trust that show. I don't trust that show. And it's there for very devious purposes. And the fact that I'm glad you brought that up, because I meant to mention that a couple weeks ago. The fact that they're playing the Rush Limbaugh music tells you that it's a psych ops operation. We've got to run, but thanks for the call. It's time to check in with Richard. I was trying to get you, Richard, but I was getting a busy signal.
I don't know why.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I got you now. So I was calling you while I was talking to the last caller. I do multiple tasks. So Richard Pearl's show, Richard Pearl on Politics, weekdays at noon on our radio station. What's going on your program today, Richard Pearl?
Well, it's really... Scientists pointed out that
Yeah. Well, they're just, you know what they are? They're the late news. They're the late news, Richard Pearl, a year and a half late, because when I was watching Tucker Carlson last night and I was thinking about you, it was like listening to Richard Pearl on Politics a year and a half ago. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, now Richard Pearl's show, he has two shows on our radio stations. He's on 7 days a week at noon. Okay, his weekday show, Monday through Friday, Richard Pearl on Politics. And on the weekends, he does his health show, Pearls of Health. But they're all on our radio stations at noon, 7 days a week. You can catch Richard Pearl. His store, Simply Natural, is located in Sunrise, just north of Sunset Strip on the east side of University. Open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. And the number over there, 954-741-4045. All right, Richard Pearl, have a great show. We'll talk tomorrow. All right, Steve, we are way out of time. You got to sign us off like in 10 seconds.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right. Hey, guys. Thanks for watching, everyone. Glad I was back today. If you're not, please subscribe. Okay? Subscribe and click the notification bell. And some of you that don't get the notifications, make sure you're subscribed. You got the notification bell clicked. But if you could all like the video, liking the video is like a big favor you could do to me, because when you like the video, it tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video to other people that like this kind of content, all right? And that helps get more people into the show. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you later.